good guessers up here. We could figure out what the truth really is for real. But that whole concept of people being technological refugees is something like the Book of Emerald Tablet, right? In the Book of Emerald Tablet, the way Thoth was speaking was like when he came to Egypt or Kemet, right? Or Kem, as they called it, the people was primitive and they had spears and shit. And you know what I mean? And Yo had some type of laser weapon or some shit and turned them to stone. And then the people started to worship him or like respect his swag. So I think that islands is probably easier to control and civilize than big ass goddamn continents. Like you can kill all the velociraptors on an island and be good. And that's possibly where a lot of this ancient wisdom and technology built from.
I can dig that.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Squid, when I come into the middle part of your show sometime, you're always talking about some kind of animals to eat.
Yeah, I try not to say we ate all the dinosaurs on them islands. I just try to keep it clean.
I wonder how they taste like.
Ostrich
When I
necks.
be looking at a lot of information,
Gosh.
and when we be looking at maps, it seems like there would be a bridge going from island to island. You know, like
You guys,
I don't know.
What you
Go ahead,
said,
bud.
Root? You said a bridge? You said a bridge, Root?
Yeah, like an aqueduct, maybe. Every island, I done checked out every island, like the Caribbean islands, they look like teeth of an alligator, and the South American islands connected to Antarctica, they look like teeth of it looked like a creature, but I don't know. We got to really. I think that we will fail 1,000 degrees if that's the right word. I think our elders or the ancients was some very off, aesthetic people, some people with beauty, if that's the right word.
You know, when you say aqueducts, I think they were partly aqueducts formed naturally when waters were receding. Partly got the idea of how to make canals and all that to make it work. Because, I mean, before any carriages or cars or any type of, horse, there were boats, right? Everybody traveled in boats because there were nothing but rivers and lakes, right? And that's how we started the trades. So we traded through the rivers and lakes. Just go one end to the other end. And people didn't know. Of course, they didn't use no sheets to let the wind take them, but they were using the long sticks to move, right? Before they figure out, oh, the wind can take us.
Man.
Yeah, like America or in the world now, but in America they got they say they call it the greatest freeway system and street system. Like it worked in sync. Like now maybe it's overpopulated now, too many cars, but it's a perfect system for a stoplight, green light, red light. You know what I'm saying? Go
right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
But that was only made since the 1920s or 30s. So before then, I agree with you that I think that's how all rivers was throughout the world. It had to be like people. I mean, this was the way of life. So it had to be the rivers had to be a highway, and people knew how to work.
A lot of these lands were covered in water. There were a lot of the lands we see now wasn't like risen. It wasn't there because everything was underwater, and then everything still went underwater because there's still ancient civilizations that haven't been discovered yet. They're still in the bottom of the ocean.
And see, I'm glad you said that. That's why I said there was aqueducts that reach out further than our continent, because we knew how to. I don't know about the ocean, but we knew how to make the gulfs and the rivers and the lakes recede. We knew how to make large city full of water turn right and go into some type of reservoir, which is like a man-made hill. You know what I'm saying? That's circular.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just think we knew how to do that. And when I look at like great stuff outside of Asia and great stuff outside of Mexico and great stuff outside of Florida's and the great stuff outside of the islands, it seemed like them lands, the water came up and there's stuff still hidden out there, like you said, like it went out more. So the only way that could be is if they broke the dams or the river systems that ran it.
Right. And it only makes sense to me that these waters that were receded long time ago, ancient times, right? And with the deluge, might have, covered everything up again. And we could probably be seeing that right now, water receding from all the lands right now. Because like, if I go to Big Bear right now, I don't see lakes anymore. When I was a kid, I used to see large lakes. Now it's all dried up. So I'm expecting maybe another deluge to come up about, the earth, always reclaims the land.
Well, y'all bring to mind the concept of the Gulf of Mexico and like off the coast of Jamaica and Cuba.
Yeah.
Like there's these you can find pictures on Google of what's supposed to be radar images of temples and pyramids underneath all that water, right? And to me it drove me a curve, because that shit's so deep under there that there's like two possibilities. It's either what Root Word just described, how the ancients were able to manipulate water flow and then the dam broke and spilled over, or that land just dropped, you know what I mean, or land rose. So it's like, all right, Huey, shout out to Huey. So it's like, what he talking about with the manipulation of water, that kind of feed into that whole Atlantis concept, because they had rings of water with rings of land in between and shit, and that shit was like controlled.
Did you see Flat Earth British about the star forts?
I mean, I saw a couple
the
of people
star forts were
The
star forts were built. The star forts were built ahead of the mud floods. The star forts were built ahead of the mud floods to prepare for the mud floods coming. So whoever built the star forts created the mud floods.
So how did they create mud floods then?
That's another theory too. I want the mud floods.
You say they created the mud floods. How did they do that?
I guess they just know all the underground tunnels and everything, and they can just pump the shit out onto the surface whenever or wherever they want. They can bury land. They can raise land.
It has been proven.
I don't know. I think that's a good idea, but I think that's kind of reaching, because, like, I don't know. I would just throw in my idea of mud floods. Mud floods to me is the liquefaction of the land. So the vibration was turned up so high.
The star forts are all over the place, though.
They are, and I'm just saying, it's like, I just question. I don't know shit about who could have made them star forts, unless they made that shit. Yeah, I don't believe that though. Be for real, I don't know. I think that these star forts and shit is made from people manipulating the earth and growing that shit out the ground. I don't see how motherfuckers real live just built that shit with men and mortar and brick and all that shit. I think
that's definitely a mystery. How in the hell all that massive of bricks and stone could have been built without some kind of giant slaves or something.
Well, I want to I'd like to say that these forts are aligned at certain positions. You know what I'm saying? Because the Fort Nation, I'm a part of it. They got me members. They got me a high member. They say I'm double than most of them. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? When you look at rivers and you look at these star forts, most of us are in the masculine way of thinking or patriarch way of thinking, which means we look at everything as a fight. So whoever built them, you know, I'm gonna say who I say. Everybody say whoever. Say we got to look at it. It might have been some women involved that said this might have been a little beautiful, and this is how we push water from and out of like a red light and a green light or a generator system. You know, because all these places are at the points of old kingdoms. Like you'll find one in St. Augustine, Florida. Then you'll find the other one in Tampa Bay, Florida. Then you'll find the other one in Jacksonville, Florida. But they all fit off the split of the river. So if you ever go to Pittsburgh, that's the best split of the river I could think of right now. It's Pittsburgh. If you go to Pittsburgh right now, Pittsburgh is the main. It's the end of a empire. Really, it's where the river splits and cuts into two, and it's the beginning of the Ohio River, and the Ohio River ends at Cairo, Illinois. So that was an old empire, if that's the way to put it, or old sourceful way. And that fort at Fort Pittsburgh, which they call, I think it's Fort Negro or Fort some shit like that, Fort Hillbilly, one of the two. But
they're always on a river or a peninsula.
Yeah, oh yeah, and it forces the river to go back and forth. Like there were 3 occurrences in America. In Chicago, you could just look up Chicago makes the river turn backwards. Just look it up on your phone. Just type it in and it'll show you just the forts and a lot of things. It just wasn't for fighting. You know, no, and then
no, they weren't for fighting at all.
Oh wow, brother. Okay, yeah, that's why I was like when people they wasn't for fighting at all.
I think.
Oh, my fault, brother. Go ahead.
No, that's what I don't think they were for fighting anyway. Go ahead.
That's an interesting topic, though. I mean, a concept as far as they were built ahead of the flood and to be like safe places away from the flood. But hasn't there been star forts that was pictured as being unearthed and shit? Like, you know, Flat Earth British, he had a series where he was showing a lot of people digging out old buildings and shit from the flood. Wasn't
they get overgrown and stuff.
But a lot of people
some of them are disappeared into the landscape.
My fault, brother. I didn't know you was talking. My fault, brother.
No, he showed how some of them were like half of them were showing like and the other half was in where the river is now. And it's like this thing about the land going up and down. It's a continual thing, I guess.
We just gotta accidentally get out of the Western way we've been taught and understand. Cars didn't come out until like 1915. So that means when they came out in Detroit and Ohio, it was nowhere else in the world has ever thought of that before. It wasn't a thought nowhere else. So it didn't start moving 100 miles an hour until maybe the 1920s or 30s. So before 1900s, everybody didn't have the manifestation of what the fuck a car was. It was horse and buggy and rivers. The river was everything.
Yeah, it was horse and buggy after a reset. They had technology.
That's what I was saying. There was both before carriages.
Now, just hold on, y'all. Let me just say one other thing. See, when like you know what I'm saying, I'm sort of a flat earth American. I'm sort of a Fort Earth America, but when you say energy, all energy runs off the river like steam and pressure. That's why we had mills in America too, right next to our forts with the big Ferris wheels.
That's right.
With the ferry wheel is really the Ferris wheel because it was on our ferries that would carry stuff back and forth down the rivers. I'm just saying that
if you live near a river, you could create energy. You're right.
Every city in America and 90% of cities in the world run off a river. Every city in America runs off a river.
Hey yo, you bring to mind a revelation over in South America somewhere where this river had dried up, and underneath it you saw what looks like the workings on a circuit board. Like you know how you see the little lines with angles connected to a type of a square or a circle? There were circles actually. So there was these circles that were plotted on the riverbed connected by certain lines, and it looked like some shit you see off a goddamn computer circuit board. And so they didn't know that was there until that river went away. So that's saying that they put that shit there before there was a river, and then they used that water current to energy some shit. So that's how heavy some of this ancient technology is. Some of these rivers were made, and if that purpose on a macro level, that means that they created waterways to keep an electrical grid going. You know what I'm saying? Just by their natural flow. You know what I mean? And that's hella interesting. But you know what? I know the brother talked about cars and rivers and things, but we also have that concept of Vimana that we got to potentially put up in the mix, because people did have flying machines if you were to take the Hindu history serious, right? And so when it comes to people with flying machines, I think that kind of tips the balance scale for those that don't have it. You know what I mean?
And we're forgetting about airships, like all these big stone buildings that are now government buildings and etc., jails, whatever, you know, that
Oh,
they
like
were
air submarines, right? Like air submarines.
they had to have been built with the airships, because, like, just for instance, where I live here, all this stone, like this stone that we have here, it's called Tyndall stone, and it's sent all around the world. And even the Parliament buildings in Ottawa are built out of this stone from Manitoba, but there's no pictures of any of these buildings being built, and not to mention how the stone was cut and quarried at the time. And there's no, like, supposedly when these buildings were built, we were running around in ox carts and shit. So it doesn't fit the narrative, and you can't find any pictures of these buildings being built.
I know. So
see, I got one problem. I got one problem with airships. Airships is based off air, really, and you know, it's a wonder in itself that they're able to float. But I seriously doubt they'll have the ability to carry heavy things.
But they
because
did, Bobby.
the way they live is by light, by the lightness compared to the air they got in the little bubble or whatnot.
When you talk about a steam or pressure engine, they do it today. It's called it was made in Toledo, Ohio too. The air blimps, you know what I'm saying? The blimps, the combustion. God damn, that's Scioto River. Wow, it's the river of knowledge. That's crazy. The Scioto, that's crazy. I'm from the river of knowledge.
How far does that technology go back?
To at least 1740. You know
what goes back to 1740? What goes back that far?
But you know, most of these inventions come from over here anyway. But who cares who made them? But I'm just trying to say that I'm agreeing with y'all. I'm just giving you proof. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just say, well, these ships. I'm gonna say, well, this invention. You know what I'm saying? It was like,
What did you say about 1740, bro?
Like 1740, 1750. That's how a lot of this mud flood stuff happened. There was wars, and there was people dropping bombs and stuff out of Toledo-made blimps, and then we had ships like the steam ships, and they all had two combustions. And that's
why after all them wars, it rained a lot, because so much when the atmosphere from fires and shit and steam and everything, it caused a lot of rain after the war. So maybe that's what caused the flood. Okay, I got you, Ruth.
Even 150 years ago, they showed the newspaper clippings of the Graf Zeppelins, and they're building one a week. So they had thousands of those things, and all those old photographs with the skies all vanillaed out. And like, it's very rare to find a picture of those old Zeppelins, and there are a couple pictures of them actually tethered to the top of those buildings. And different styles of them look like, some of them look like cargo outfits where they had like a big gap on the bottom where they'd like pick up like a rail car sort of thing. It'd be like a container. They'd just go and pick it up and then float up and put it wherever they wanted. They could lift heavy shit for sure.
Okay. You know, I'm still stuck on this concept with these aerial, because if there was a naval war, that's one thing. A land war is another thing. But with that airspace type war, like the concept that Plant just said, like there was thousands of Zeppelins, but you can hardly find a picture of one. And then when you do, you just see one. But I believe they used those on England. German drop bombs on England using those things, if I'm not mistaken. But you know, it's like when you're talking about flying ships and shit, you know, you're going to run into people with better technology in this shit. And I just can't break away from instigating or insinuating that those with the most technological airships control the narrative to a certain degree.
Yes, and the Americas had the most airships all the way up to the 1800s, where they stopped making them because a new technology came out of Dayton, Ohio, called the airplane. So if you look on the map, Google map anywhere in any city in America, any hick town, any bumfuck Egypt town, you're going to find a old, ancient, agnostic lines. That's what some of them agnostic lines is old blimp or old airports. Everywhere in America. We got more than Peru. We got them by the thousands in America. But that's where old blimps used to they're old airports. These ain't no new airports. Airports ain't new in America. Airports ain't new in the world. If you had a blimp, you had to land it somewhere. And the reason they went extinct, if that's the right word, or the reason they got prohibited is because they changed them up from wood, where you put them in a wood oven, and they changed them up to oil and gas, and they start crashing into buildings and blowing the whole buildings up. Without aggress.
So damn, is we not live no more?
Yeah, we
No
live
more.
on Knowledge Uprising now.
Okay, I gotta switch over then.
Yeah, we on
I'm
Knowledge
still trying to watch the chat. Yo, the DJ. Yo, DJ. So
Now, is it possible? I just want to throw this out there.
The thing that I want to
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say that, is it possible that ever since the flood, that the waters are still receding to this day?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I
Because
think that
California used to
as
be
a
an
matter
island.
of stability. Yeah, but they would have to go somewhere. There have to be some pockets in the earth that they could go away in.
And
That's
a
what they
lot of
God
these,
forbid they evaporate,
That's what they
And
call
build in
stagnant water.
cloud. Because if they build in cloud, then we're going to expect some rain.
They say there's 85,000 dams and reservoirs in America that hold 17 to 19% of our water. So if them 85,000, you can just look it up. You know, it's Wikipedia easy. But if you let them reservoirs and dams flow their natural course, we will see the natural ways of Americas, and that's why a lot of the cities that we stay in, there'll be like sometimes there'll be floods, or they'll be having us in flood zones because that's where old rivers and stuff used to be. But I digress though.
Now
So
I know I
yo,
remember
when it
watching one of
comes to
these.
these Vaimanas, I just want to say this, and then y'all could take it wherever. But I just want to say, remember, when it comes to these Vaimanas, they had the ability to drop bombs, shoot beams of lasers, and basically do aerial war shit. And it might be maybe two concepts or incidences in which aerial wars amongst the quote unquote gods. Now, this is the thing. Them motherfuckers was these fake gods. These people claiming to be the gods. They was gods over everybody else, most likely due to their goddamn technological advances. So there's like two instances that I could think of. And that's the Mahabharata, the Vedic wars, right? The Vedic history about wars with these Vaimanas. And then you have an account in Germany back in somewhere where they in like the early hundreds, where there was an aerial battle seen in the sky, and it was depicted and talked about, right? But other than that, you don't get no type of aerial battle reference. So I just want to say again that, like in the Mahabharata or one of them joints, they was using atomic weapons.
Oh yeah, the one
You know
you
what I'm saying?
showed with
This is why the dude that Oppenheimer, when he saw the atomic experiment in the desert in America, he said a quote from the Mahabharata because he knew that was the exact same type of weapon that they was using.
oh yeah, the picture you had with the cylinders and the balls in the sky and that.
Yes, that's it.
Hitler supposedly found one
They
of
got
those
wars
Vaimanas,
that's
right?
going on in America too, though. Like they're all cities in America's had airplanes too, and there's a movie called in San Francisco, the aliens of San Francisco or something, talking about the blimps that just was going around and everything. Though you know what I'm saying, and we have a lot of flint in America and all that stuff. Though I just think it was a regular thing in the world to have a blimp, like a Goodyear blimp. It wasn't nothing special.
Yeah, but I don't think these aerial planes. I think these aerials is different than blimps. Not to say that blimps didn't exist. I'm saying that it seemed to be. I don't know. I think it would be kind of fucked up if a blimp dropped a bomb on somebody. But I'm just saying, like it seemed that these things had the ability to do real good speeds and to do maneuvers and probably couldn't do. Right. So it's like, are you talking about the Battle of Los Angeles, Root?
I wish you would have named that.
Huh? Well, the Battle of Los Angeles is a very well a recorded account of a so-called UFO flying over Los Angeles sometime after World War II, and the military shot hella artillery at this thing, and there was people that died due to the falling of the shells, like civilians, American civilians died because of all the munition that was shot at this thing falling onto the population and shit. And there was people that's in a living, like within their lifespan, they were able to tell about the thing. And so there's a real good picture of it.
And then was
And
blimp.
that picture, see, this is the thing. When you say blimp, you know, it's like how technologically advanced is the blimp? Because I'm pretty
Okay,
sure
how
the blimp,
technology is a Chevette and a Mercedes Benz, man. It's a car, man. It's a blimp. My fault. It goes off the mechanical. It goes off the combustion, wood heat blowtorch, or there's just like it's a combustion. That's why I call it a blimp. It's an air combustion, and it's a combustion. That's the best I can say.
Okay, so if you call flying saucers blimps, then just be, just make sure you say that because people would think you're talking about the Goodyear blimp type machine. But you're
Yeah,
saying
when
that
you said
the
Yeah,
workings
yeah,
are
that'll confuse me.
but see, y'all might have to start going back and understanding what a combustion is. So when you talk about
no,
an
we don't.
airplane or a UFO, hold on. When you talk about an airplane or a UFO, it's a different type of combustion in their wings and what makes the plane go straight. When you talk
That's
about
fine.
before the combustion of that, there was a combustion of the Goodyear blimp, which will make a something like that you can pick a basket up into the float in the air and go straight.
Okay.
So I'm going off the combustions. That's all.
Yeah, I understand that the technology of combustion is probably more advanced in a so-called flying saucer, but started off potentially in a blimp stage. Like they had the motorized buggy, and then they had a sports car. I understand that. So this particular blimp, right, using your words in the Battle of Los Angeles, was able to deflect munitions from like heavy military cannons and shit like that. So we're dealing with a technology that is probably along the same lines, just further down the line. And so I'm just saying that it seemed that if people had this technology that was more powerful than the next, they won wars.
They would have had some kind of a magnetic field around them, right? Like that's what they would travel in, their own magnetic field it creates.
Right.
So that
The
field
same
would probably defend it against weapons too. I don't know.
to a certain degree.
You know, that's how I heard we was back in the day as a universal people. Like if you was in a boat and you jumped from New York and you said you was about to go to England, there was some type of magnetic understanding on the front of your boat that's gonna lead you to that next city. Yeah, we was going some different type of. We gonna get there through some magnetic shit. I agree with that.
So the same type version of technology was used in Vietnam when soldiers shot at these UFOs. All their bullets came back at them. They were sent back at them as if they was gathered up and then reverse propelled back toward the source. So this is the thing. It's like these people that till this day have these flying machines must have had them in the ancient time also. And so I know that the glory of civilizations is interesting and there's pride in that. But it's like something besides just a natural flood and people's natural ability to politic is involved in the shit.
We owe it to someone else, right?
Real quick on star forts. I believe star forts and possibly many structures that we see calling them pyramids could possibly been grown out of the ground with the technology of magnetic.
What the fuck you mean grown stone from stone?
It'd be like cells. Each stone would be a cell.
Because there's this thing called fungus, right? It's a type of a manipulation of what a mushroom is. And I think that if you see a area with that, then you could use whatever the fuck, magnetics, energy, or whatever have you, to literally grow it and solidify it into place.
Almost like projecting it into place.
Yes, kind of like
I can see something like that. That's a very intriguing concept.
Yeah, now, growing it within the hologram.
Now, y'all talking about, see, I can see if y'all said a tree or a slab, like the new federal buildings, it's a slab of rock. But hold on now. This is stone from stone, man. This in the most accurate, acute, you know what I'm saying? This is stone from stone.
But
You
this is
feel
the
what I'm
thing.
saying?
I hear you, but this is the thing. When you grow that fungus and then you treat it a type way, it's just as hard as stone, and they look just like stone, and that's a scientific fact.
But it
They're,
don't feel like stone. And you can't eat stone. You can eat a mushroom, man.
yeah, but I wouldn't suggest you eat these type of mushrooms. But I suppose if you rested in water long enough, it might soften up, maybe. But yo, this is something that the that the space community, the science community, is claiming that the method they want to use to grow colonies on Mars by using the mushroom to grow and solidify into stone-like material.
You
So
believe we went to Mars?
no, I do not. But I believe that they are giving insight on information through their disinformation. So I've known about this topic before they claim to want to use that for Mars. So all I'm saying is that what they're doing is exposing the ability to do such a thing, but they're not going to tell you how it was done in our terrestrial past. And this is how I think Star Force was made. But anyways,
I think brick masonry been going along for a long time. They were just at the excellent form when they was
I can
making this
agree
fort.
with that. Yeah, they've been doing that for a long time.
you know, some of the so-called giant stone and artifacts, like we seen the stone in Baalbek, and that looked like a hewn stone from rock. I understand that.
You talking about
But
like a
some
cyclopean
formulation,
structure?
yes, sir, yes. Like some of that, you can clearly see that it was hewn from a rock somehow. Another is the type of shit you see in South America where it looked like it was molten, in which they basically solidified molten mud or the ingredients to make stone, and then when it cooled off, it was stone. But when they put it there, it was like either mud or some type of molten state of mud. You see what I'm saying? Like they melted the brick and then put the brick into framework that made it hold a place and then cool off, and then it's like that's way easier in moving and formulating brick structures by just pouring the shit like they do it now with concrete, where they create a frame and then they pour the concrete into the frame and then let it solidify, and then you have a whole fucking wall and shit.
Have you ever seen the Wise Up channel? He
Yeah,
showed
wow.
how some of those walls in Peru and that it looks like it could have been like bags of cement piled into a wall, or even he showed how they have those little protrusions, and he showed how an elephant's skin looks just like those stones where it has that little tag sticking out of it, and that kind of coincides with your growing living cells into stone somehow.
I believe that you need a flying machine to hover around the place and project that energy on the earth to make that shit happen.
Like crop circles.
Like crop circles. There you go. Even though that it's, yeah, but yeah. Even though I've seen how a crop circle is made, like there's one footage where you actually see this little ball doing the work. But that's, we're here now. And then back in the day, to do that shit with stone, they would just need a bigger ball, basically.
So those would be spirit orbs then.
No, I don't think they're spirit orbs. I think they're like drones. Like,
Okay.
they're like remote controlled situations.
Maybe they're alive also.
I doubt it. It seemed to be like moving a cursor, right? It's like just moving a cursor and making it do things like that. And it seems like that's their only purpose is to use those type cursors to create what we call crop circle and shit. And that's
They would
damn, that's a
go to a
phenomenon that I
program
haven't
like a
remembered in a while.
probably go to a program like a CNC sort of thing.
That's crazy you bring up crop circles because now that's just another string I could pull on to try to unravel the blanket to these assholes with technology drawing in the fucking ground, drawing in the crop fields, leaving stupid ass messages that are highly intricate, and a lot of them do have gems in it. But I'm not into all that geometric shape bullshit. I couldn't care less. I understand there's ley lines and there's tetrahedrons and all that other fuck shit, but I don't apply that shit in my life directly. So it just seems like that it's just teasing, right? They're using that crop circle phenomena to tease people into thinking that there's aliens. So that would tell me that motherfuckers who make these crop circles real life is a part of the false narrative, and that would link up the construction of a lot of these buildings linked up
Like
to the false
testing our
narrative as
reaction.
well.
Be testing our reaction.
The whole movie Signs was based on crop circles and aliens being involved. So what's the chances that Mel Gibson he comes out in the 80s, really, in a time where the racial companionship real life took a boost with Riggs and Murtaugh. You know what I'm saying? And then he does Passion of the Christ, and then gets in trouble for shitting on Jews and the Illuminati, and then he does Signs. You know what I'm saying? That whole incident might have been a psyop, but it's just like, okay, he talk about Jesus and then he talk about aliens type shit. Even though that wasn't him, that was M. Night Shyamalan. But M. Night Shyamalan is an Indian from Hindu. And he had came out with a documentary about him, and that shit was spooky to the point where they kind of made him appear like a demon or some dumb shit. But anyways, I digress because you know what I mean. But definitely, if you believe that crop circles exist, then you know what I mean. It shouldn't be far fetched to try to talk shit about whoever's doing that.
Yeah, the M. Night Shyamalan, he always comes out on like a small part on every movie he makes. I wonder why.
And his movies always be kind of on the creepy side.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, it is.
That's probably his swag. Probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a
I
weird
guess like
fellow.
Stephen King. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
You saw Lady of the Water or some shit where the lady came out the pool.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
And the crazy thing is, that thing on Lady in the Water, alien thing, looks like the same thing off Hellboy.
I gotta watch it.
That movie was definitely weird, dealing with water demon concept. So, you know,
It looks
I think it's safe to say that, you know, crop circles and aliens or aliens ain't real, and crop circles is definitely a part of psyopness.
It's just used to confuse people.
it looks like I'm in the wrong YouTube channel now in the chat.
Oh yeah, man. We live on another channel now. We live on HOTC Universal Knowledge Uprising. It's a new live that started.
Yeah, I told some people to go to Knowledge Uprising's channel, but I didn't know you switched it.
Yeah, HOTC Live too. HOTC Universal. We in here. That's like the third stream we done did, but we just keeping the build going. It seemed like it's one stream, but I've been breaking it down up. Well, you feel me?
Right.
Hey, knowledge. What do you think about undergroundness?
That's a very intriguing topic right there. I think there is something going on underground, possibly a living situation or some kind of something, because where we at, there's always something living. So for something not to be living underground would be kind of crazy, particularly. And I'm pretty sure there's all kind of things under there that's able to sustain without sunlight that they never even tried to reach above,
That's so creepy.
Hell
There's
yeah.
a
But when
there's a
you
couple.
looking at like without light, if that's the right thing to put it, it has to be down there with some type of light though, because if it ain't having no light, let me make sure I say it right. It's gonna stay in a non-photosynthesis thought. It's not gonna have no. It's gonna be in the dark. There'll have to be some type of light that's reaching down there. And I wonder what type of darkness that'll be though. If you don't like, if you're looking at everything comes from like light and everything. Like if you in the dark most of the time, and I'm just talking light. That's it. Nothing else. Just light. If you in the dark most of the time, you might not develop the way a person that sees light all the time. That's just all I'm trying to say. It might be
Yeah, I feel you on that kind. You ever seen that movie where them ladies go spelunking and that happens and they run to these pale white creature things that's been living under a cave and surviving under there?
The Descent.
Yeah, there you go.
That was creepy. They were kind of like bats.
And I think people that live, like if I could say it weirdly, they make them. Because I don't know the science to it, so it's still weird to me. That's why I say weirdly. If there was back in the day people living underground, they had a different type of science, or just because you didn't see the light a lot, if you don't see the light, you just gonna adapt to what you see, and that's just gonna bring some different type of darkness. And I ain't saying dark isn't a bad thing, just the manifestation of life is gonna be dark however they do it without the light forces. But I think that people that stayed on top of the hills or on top of the mountains had a different type of air force too. I swear, I bet you people really practiced that shit back in the day too, the way of living. Like everybody didn't like to be valley low people, if that's the right word.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Let me
there's a
look at my fault.
no. I'm just saying there's a couple. There's maybe a handful of stories that that talk about people who, one way or another, were able to traverse underneath. The land forgotten by time. This is what brought up the movies Land of the Lost and that type of shit. And whether you dealing with the Will Ferrell Journey to the Center of the Earth concept, or I think that was Land of the Lost actually, and then you have Journey to the Center of the Earth. Like when you see these movies adapted into, well, actually the older one, the Journey to the Center of the Earth, is pretty interesting, but the most they show you is some form of reptile or dinosaur. Like the dinosaur is the most common theme that they tell you about. But when you read the books, like the books about it, like you had some fellows from Norway who had a fishing boat, and their fishing boat basically went into the center of the earth, or that hole that's in the North Pole, or something to that effect. And they were met by giant white / Asiatic type men, where they looked like white men, but they had clothes like silk and like kind of like how Chinese people be on their get-ups. And the story goes that man sojourned there with them for a while and then came back and told his story.
I have an old music album from the 70s. It's called Rick Wakeman, Journey to the Center of the Earth. And it has like all kinds of, like, open up the album. It has pictures and that. It shows like giant turtles.
Yeah, evidently everything is giant down there. Trees and mushrooms, like fields of giant mushroom, and dinosaurs and whatever. But when the brother Root talking about the light there, it's rumored in these stories that there's an inner sun, and I'm not too sure if that's true. Some documents from Germans claim that it's an inner sun down there, but you know we definitely see the aurora borealis exit from the North Pole, and there's one story in which it's a green hue, a green light that permeate the areas down below in certain places. So
yeah, it's not like a sun, it's just like a light that's everywhere, right?
And see, that's what I'm trying to I was trying to bring, but I'm glad you said it. I couldn't say it right. When you have I think it's photosynthesis and non-photosynthesis, or there's colors that we see every day. Like when the sun comes up, it goes through its red stages, and then it goes to blue, and then it goes back to red, oranges, and then it's over with. It goes back to that void. We don't see that green. And if you ever grown weed, I've seen these dudes, hemp, whatever we call it. They had these green lights that they accidentally made their first cycle stay longer, and it would make the plant grow bigger under that fucking green light.
word, damn.
So, like that's what I was trying to say. The light spectrum, we see it every day. We see the light spectrum every day. We just don't see the green light. And it's some shit that I can't believe that everything we said, if we put together, man, if there is something down below, its light spectrum makes it bigger, man. Yeah, that's the only way you right. It makes it bigger. And when y'all say green, I say, come the fuck on, y'all. I don't know the same thing I know about it. Yeah, it's the green light.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
I
sense.
was growing some plants in pots, and I ran a wire from the pot into a big cable I have in the ground, and the plants that were connected to the ground with the wire grew way nicer and greener than the ones that didn't.
You put a fucking wire in a plant pot and put it in the earth? Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
and it worked. It
That's
worked.
pretty ingenious, bro.
It was unbelievable how much better those plants did than the ones without a wire. So that's why if you're trying to start plants in the house, they start to get all leggy and spindly. I think I'm going to try that. If I start plants in the house, I'm going to run a wire into the dirt there outside into the ground.
Wow. That's heavy.
That's the
It's
first
just
time I
like
ever heard about this.
it's
Yo,
just
that's
like it's just like when you plant your feet on the ground. Like I was literally charging myself up, sitting with my feet on a rock and pouring water on the rock and holding onto the wire that was connected into the ground. Could actually feel the charge.
Interesting.
It is.
Yeah, and it's like that energy. It's like you want to hold it, like you don't want to waste it, eh? You don't want to
So,
waste it on frivolous shit. You want to save it for when you need it.
so this to me talks about the importance of having a proper staff. You know, the wizard always has a staff, even though it could been used
Damn.
like a magic wand, but that's what come to my mind. Yeah.
And that thing about witching for water, like some people would take a piece of willow that's shaped like a Y, and some people have the right magnetism that it can actually find where the water is in the ground, like that.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That willow will
Yeah.
just bend right towards the water like a magnet.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You definitely could read trees, their branches, and the way their leaves and branches bend and contort. And that shit has a direct relationship to either energy or, like you said, the water and what's under the ground. Like certain, I'm just picturing it, but if there's energy in the air, like the branches would bend toward a certain, just like when there's like to get light. Like the branches would struggle to grow in the direction in which the light is most prominent.
I noticed when I had some trees growing in my hedge, they grew straight toward the power lines. This one fast growing elm tree I had, and you could see it. The whole tree was going in that direction. The branches were all going straight at the power
Interesting.
lines.
Yeah, well,
Damn.
these plants, or the plant kingdom, has a conscience, and those conscience is so powerful that they read our conscience. They read our minds. You know, they know when they're gonna get cut because they already read our minds. It's crazy. It's been documented too. That's been documented.
Damn.
My buddy's aunt,
The world's first antenna, the trees.
my buddy's aunt recently died. She lived out in the country in this old house, and she had a great big maple tree in her yard. And within a week of her dying, that tree died. She had been living there with that tree for so many decades that they would share like an energy field or something.
Yeah, I strongly believe people have a connection with trees. You know,
Yeah, that's why the house plants. You talk to them. They keep your air clean. You take care of them. They keep the air in your house clean.
And if I'm not mistaken, you'll see images of the Buddha sitting with
On a
amongst the
lotus
tree.
flower.
The one image come to mind where he's sitting in front of a tree, and I think it's a part of his story that he sat under a tree for like a long ass period of time to gain the enlightenment that he sought. And so that, I guess that's like sitting next to an antenna if you know how to work it.
Right.
And after these resets, the controllers, in my mind, what they probably did after the resets is they would have planted all these useless trees and introduced all these noxious weeds so people couldn't really grow their own food. It used to be you could walk around and fruit trees all over the place, and now everything we grow is useless. Somehow we're in that mentality where it's like the guy and the farmer on the McDonald's commercial. The sun's coming up and the rooster's crowing and he's standing there eating a fucking McMuffin when he's got everything on his farm. What you need to eat, he shouldn't have to go to McDonald's. It's crazy.
That's funny in a sad way. Have you ever seen a type of weed grow and it literally starts to become a tree? Have you ever seen that? Like,
I haven't.
if you let weeds grow, and I'm talking about this very fucking distasteful, poisonous concept of weed, that shit grows, and if you leave it alone, that bitch looks like it become into a tree. I can't really tell because eventually I had to cut them bitches down. But they became stronger and stronger. And weeds, there's certain type of weeds that would wrap itself around a tree, kill the tree, and live like it consumed the tree and become the tree. Like even the leaves would change.
That's interesting. I can see that happening.
Like a lichen concept on a large scale.
Yes.
The lichens are a combination of two different organisms that need each other to live.
And there's certain type of weeds that seek out plants. Like they did an experiment where they had a flower and they had a weed and they had a jar of glass over each of them. And when they removed the jar of glass, the weed grew toward the flower. Even though they had a little space in between them, the weed grew toward the flower.
Weeds are very strong.
Yeah, hunter
Weeds are very
destroyer.
strong.
Yeah, they're parasites. They're like hunter destroyer shits, man.
Like I was saying yesterday about the weeds, how they break through the concrete on the sidewalk. I mean, man. They just start growing and growing. They even produce flowers. A flower.
Right. They kind of take on the imitation. They can imitate plants, flowers, and trees. And roots can. We know roots of trees can do that. They could break through any goddamn thing. Really, really.
Yeah.
I don't know if they could break through glass, but when it comes to stone and shit, they definitely find their way through. If water could get through it, you know how water erodes stone. Like
right.
Roots definitely break through that shit. So like when Plant was saying earlier about, there used to be more plentiful trees around. Like really, the trees that we see in our life today, they're no older. Most of them no older than maybe 100 or so years.
Right.
You know what I mean? That shit is heavy.
The poplar trees. If you cut a poplar tree down, its roots will go out and make a whole bunch of small ones. So like when you see the pictures of the autumn leaves in Quebec or whatever, you see one clump of trees are yellow and then one beside it is orange. They're the same species of tree, but that whole, like a little forest, is like one tree that's growing up from the roots.
Damn. Wow.
All the roots are all connected, but it looks like a bunch of separate trees.
And trees are mentioned in the book of Enoch heavy.
Yes. Yeah.
You remember that? It's pretty an enigma on why when Enoch was showing these far reaches of place in the trees, he mentioned how the trees were and when they bloom, and there was some tree that never change, and they always had fruits and shit and all this other thing. Like that's what come to mind. Like,
I think it said one tree with different kinds of fruit on it. No,
you might be right. You
in the
might be
Book of
right.
Enoch.
Yeah, I got this. This old picture from, I think it's the Middle East, but it shows this big ass tree and people coming out like as if they were growing out the fruit of the tree. Like they look like they was the fruits of the tree. Little Asian people and shit. But I'm not saying they're Asian, but I'm just saying what the depiction looked like. And it's so weird because I don't know how to place that. I don't know how to think of that. But there's no telling what fucking come from a tree. Like they could be type of egg, you know, to a certain degree, these type fruits. And if you go back, I don't know, that's just magical fairy tale shit though.
When you say
You know.
egg, you mean like a cocoon?
Like if the tree can produce a fucking human being, it would be kind of like a test tube. You know how you seen those movies where they growing people in the lab and all they needed was a sack, and their sack is situated to the computer. Like that's what pretty much a fruit hanging from a tree is.
That's true. Damn.
But like
Look
I
at my
said, that's
name.
kind of fairy
That's deep,
tale.
like
I
yeah,
have
but
no-
you know, they actually are doing to where they got these things. It's some kind of pod. I was talking about it on one of my last streams, and you can actually, I guess, get cremated, and they put your stuff in a pod, and organically they bury you and put a tree over your roots, and you actually become a part of that tree that starts to sprout out. They're doing that instead of getting rid of doing cemeteries with where they bury bodies and stuff. They're doing cemeteries with trees now.
Say that one more time. What the fuck? Say that one more time, yo. They put
Yeah.
your body, huh?
Yes, they cremate you, and they put you in some kind of organic pod. It's an egg. They put you in an egg, and a tree actually sprouts out from that egg with your remains.
What?
Yeah, you can look it up. I think it's like $3,000. I think the cheapest.
Damn.
You can actually get your remains in a pod, and it's called an egg, and actually grow a tree from that. You can plant a tree anywhere, or put the pod anywhere, and it plant and a tree grows from it.
I don't know if it's a joke, but some years ago I heard about this idea of burying people vertically. So they just drill a cylinder and just drop you in there, eh? Or maybe they could just make your coffin like a big screw and just
Now, do
screw
you
you
think the
into.
family members will have some kind of strong connection with that tree? You know, once it sprouts up, or will that tree give off some type of energy that manifested from you? You know, it just makes me think. You know, because when you walk in a cemetery, you know, some people feel a certain type of way and all these things. So when you're around a tree like that, how would that feel? You know, a cemetery full of trees. So they wouldn't even call it a cemetery. It'd be like a forest or something, right?
Man, I don't know. I don't like the concept of cemeteries because it's just way too many people that's going to need. Oh, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, we had hella people done died, and I don't think it was used in ancient time.
Yeah. So
Because
each
we-
tree, I guess, will have
more-
a name planted on it, a plaque with your name on it. You know,
Stone Garden.
this is the John Witherspoon tree with his date and all that on it. You know, that's kind of wild. That's a very intriguing concept.
I don't know, man. That's fucked up to put somebody's name on a tree. You know, like you heard the brother talk about roots growing new trees and shit. So it'd be like, Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. You might be giving them trees the spirit to them trees. Like, yo, the motherfucker got hella trees.
I want to hear Root Word's thoughts on that. What you think about that, Root?
Rude word. Do you think they dump people that died into the ocean and just overboard for them motherfuckers?
I think both ways. I think you cursed if you get buried in that sort of. I don't know how you going to heaven or reaching Allah's land and you getting buried. That don't even make no sense. In a steel box. So he said, I think that like how a lot of people in other countries do, they just lay the body somewhere out of sight, like let the dead bury the dead, and it'll go back into the ground, and it'll go through its stages and put a fruit, or I mean not a fruit, but put a seed on that motherfucker. I think that'll be dope. It's gonna naturally grow. I don't know if it'll grow. I don't know. It's weird though that.
But yeah, these eggs, they actually are sprouted out of a tree. You know, I think you can pick the tree you want and all that.
Wow.
I'm just saying though, when you say that we're ash when you get burnt.
Oh well, some people are actually doing it like with pods with their whole body.
Okay, that's no. I think that's dope. I just that's more natural if that's the way to put it. I mean, I ain't saying it's dope. It's just that's natural shit. And if I can say some,
but you'll be put in a sack. Like I think with your body, when I was reading up on it earlier, and I watched a couple of videos on it. You know, I'm always talking about this crazy type shit. Y'all remember the one video I did, Red Squid, where I was talking about how they freeze your body parts and all that for the future. Remember, I can't remember the name of that company, but I was talking about them. Now I'm talking about this company with the eggs and the pods, but you'll actually be placed in a fetal position, your corpse, and it'd be placed in a sack, and that sack would actually be the roots of the tree or whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I think they when people used to die, I think you wanted something though. I think every family had a tree. And that was the great, whoever the fuck it was. And that's who died. And when you die, you get laid next to that tree, and then you turn into all them like white webbish shit, and you connect to the tree, and it's just your family tree. Shit, just and I think that was a natural tradition back then.
And you know what? Root got me thinking about, I'm not sure if this is fact, but it's flashing in my head. I think I've seen this somewhere where in certain druid or type tradition, they buried a motherfucker in a tree. Like they would cut a hole out and put yo in that motherfucker. But I'm not sure how they would seal that shit up. So I don't know. But yo, this concept of, I don't know, like there's two concepts of putting the dead into water that come to mind. And that's the Nordic, in which they build a funerary boat and they basically line it up just like how Egyptians and other ancient peoples used to do with things the person would need in the afterlife. And then they set it adrift and shoot arrows of fire on it to set it ablaze, and it would burn and basically sink into the ocean or whatever, the water, right? And then the people of India, they put the dead in the river Ganges.
Have you ever heard the thing called taking a walk in the reeds?
Hell no, that sounds creepy though, man.
I think it refers to, like the Egyptians say, when you're ready to die, you're ready to take a walk in the reeds.
Reeds aren't reeds like stems?
Yeah.
Water plants.
Yeah. That's creepy. You know, because I just listened to the audiobook for this H.P. Lovecraft story called The Temple. And in part of this story, this is based upon this Russian submarine. I mean, this German U-boat, this German submarine, and they up there shooting ships down and killing people or whatever. And so they surfaced the submarine, and it was somebody hanging on to the bars on top of the submarine who was dead. And so they said they dragged the body to throw it overboard. And at first the eyes was closed, but when they started to drag the body and they pulled the body to throw it overboard, the eyes were open, and it freaked the crew out. And so when they tossed the body overboard, one man said that he watched the body go under the waves, and he saw the man, who was a dead man, turn around and swim away. And it's so much weird, spooky shit with water and dead. It's almost like, I don't know, it's a type realm for the dead. Because I don't know, I know it's just a story from H.P. Lovecraft, but you know what I'm saying? Later on in that story, the guys thought he saw people swimming by the portholes. And it's just so weird because there's concepts of water demons. There's concepts like water is such a powerful thing. I done seen ghosts jump in the water. I done seen pictures of ghosts coming out of the water. I done seen ghosts over the water. I done seen dead people seemingly alive inside, submerged in water. And it's just crazy. It's like that's a medium where the spirit could take a life even if it's dead, yo. I don't know how to explain it. So when you talk about the reeds and the Egyptians walking in the reeds, that's dealing with water. It's maybe that's why I don't like water like that, because I know I'm talking about, but whatever. I really don't like it because there's sharks and shit. So I don't know.
I agree that water is like a medium. It is powerful.
So many people supposedly died in a flood. So I don't know. Like the Japanese claim that there's a dragon king that reigns at the bottom of the ocean. Shit like that. It's just crazy. It's like you don't know what's in that motherfucker. I'm going to see the movie Underwater today, by the way. So I don't know. I'm gonna take my weapon with me just in case some pop out the screen on me. I'm gonna try to slip the movie managers like a 20 so they can keep the lights on.
Yeah, folks.
Did you know that sound travels faster in water than it does in air?
Yeah, but I'm gonna go in a movie with a float around my waist.
With a life preserver?
Yeah, a rubber ducky float and shit.
The rubber ducky.
I actually seen that movie.
Oh, you seen Underwater?
Oh man, let me tell you, I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna talk about it, just give me a heads up so I can walk away and mute everything and don't listen.
Nah. Don't spoil it.
I'm not even gonna talk about it.
Don't spoil it, because I want to watch it too now.
Hey, Knowledge, how about this? How about Knowledge? We link up later this evening and talk about it.
Oh, we can do like a movie review.
That'd be after you watch it. Or after you watch it. I'm gonna go see it too. Fuck it.
Yeah, you gonna see it today?
Fuck it, why not?
Word up.
We'll
do
that movie review.
Yo, as soon as this live in, I'm gonna watch it
again.
Yeah. And we'll make that like for the late show. We can do a movie review on Underwater. That'd be dope.
Hell yeah, that would be. And I'm definitely gonna see it. Only the wise, if you go see it, man, yeah, then that would be 3 in.
Hell yeah. I'm curious now. I'm curious. We'll go fuck that. We'll see it.
How the shit start, yo, man, it's good. It's good.
Okay. Okay. Oh shit!
I'm gonna take
So
all
I'm
my floating
excited.
device. I'm gonna take my goggles, everything.
You know what I mean? I'm
Rubber
gonna have
ducky,
go in there with a snorkel and some swimming trunks.
the
Like
snorkel. There you go.
I'm ready.
With the swimming trunks. Beautiful.
Oh, hell yeah!
Definitely. Let's do a movie review on that shit after that. Okay.
Right. I'm looking up where I could go see it, and it's crazy because I'm so anticipating what I'm gonna see as like
Hey,
I'm
see, a
kind of
brother
like
like me, I'll be like, yo, I end it, I'll put it in the back chat and we can watch it live from here. Don't mess around now. Pop it up right now.
oh, you got the bootleg?
Man, what? Man, I got a computer. I got it on my Xbox. I got it on my phone. I can pop it up right now. Real talk.
Man,
Anybody got the Fury Wilder fight?
I actually gonna be watching it on my Xbox tonight. So I can sign in with my phone and play the screen, but we won't be live if we was watching it. It'd be like this, but offline, you know.
Some YouTubers are just commentating it. They're not allowed to show the picture, you know.
Yeah, you can't show it.
oh yeah,
That's why they have to be offline if I'm showing it, and we have to be in a group, you know.
Hey,
But I can,
knowledge. I'm gonna hop off. But thanks for having me here. Peace to
thank
everybody
you
in
for
panel
coming in.
and chat. And yeah, I'm gonna go see this movie for real, for real. But I'm gonna go eat with the family right now because they've been waiting
All
for
right.
me. You know.
okay, fam.
No,
All
I
right,
ain't go
man.
do
See
your
you,
thing,
Peace,
bro,
y'all.
see you,
man. That
Miss
shit
IL,
looking
bro.
Yeah.
good. Hey, man, save me a
All right.
plate.
Hey, I hope there's enough. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody wants to taste my food right now. So, all right, man. Peace to y'all.
All right, my dude. Bless.
Peace.
Yeah.
That'd be really dope, though. We do something like that.
Word up. I'm trying to look. Nah. You know what I mean? So I'm shot right now, man.
Hey, Squid, remember we were looking at the cave paintings?
Yeah.
Here's something kind of weird. I was looking through my old scrapbook when I was a little kid, coloring with crayons, and I have this picture, and it looks like a crude kid's drawing. It's all in crayon, except it looks like I have some sky critters. Like it's like a pencil outline, and it's the hand is so steady and smooth. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them I got on there, and they look like critters in the sky. And it's like kind of like a cave painting. Hey, I'm going into the past, and I'm trying to think of why I drew those things with such detail there when I was a little kid.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting, man, because you know your
I was trying to
subconscious
show it, but you can't really see it.
your subconscious talking about sky critters. Sky critters definitely is a thing, man. That's definitely truth to that.
There's a brown one, 2 brown ones, a pink one, an orange one, and a red one.
Yeah, sky critters is a thing, man. Real shit.
But there's such detail on them. Like that's the only place on the drawing that there's pencil. And I carefully outlined these outlines and then colored them in. It's kind of weird. I'm baffled by it.
You was on some shit even then.
There's a picture of somebody up in a tree. I guess that's me. And looks like there's a guy at the bottom with a chainsaw. And a house with a chimney with smoke coming out of it. And the sun, yellow and orange sun. And it looks like I have some kind of building up in the sky too.
A building in the sky.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, there's a possibility of that being a thing too as well.
I must have been 4 or 5 when I made that.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah, so you had the eye.
I'm up in the tree with a big frown. Not happy about what's going down, I guess.
I got like maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. What the fuck? Those are sky critters, be. They kind of shape the same way on the cave paint. Yo, that look like the world tree. Look at Joe with the sight when he's 4 or 5. We can't hear you, Plant.
Can't really see the sky critters.
Yeah, we could see him.
There's one there, another one below it there. Then there's the building on top of a pink one. And then there's a brown one there. You can kind of see the detail of it. It almost looks like a turtle. See it?
I see it. That's really interesting.
I wonder why I would put a building in the air.
Because there's buildings in the air.
Looks like a castle.
Right. That's a thing also.
It's above the blue sky.
Yeah, that's a thing, man. Like there's a picture of supposedly one of these things, or at least a couple of them, actually. A couple of pictures. And that's what you see, a city in the sky floating somehow. And Dragon Ball Z, they got cities on rocks floating in the sky. In the movie Avatar, you got mountains and shit floating around.
The thing about the sky critters and all this chemtrail shit they're doing, it's like, you know how you can see the evil faces like in the smoke clouds of 9/11 and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
And you can see faces in these fake clouds and that. It's actually energy creating those faces.
Mm-hmm.
Some consciousness is doing that. So if there's nasty shit like that, then there must be good ones too, right? If they're using tech to try to create this stuff, then there must be good sky critters up there cleaning shit up and whatnot.
That's definitely possible. I mean, it's definitely optimistic. But you know, I don't know. I mean, I hate to see an evil one, but I wonder if they're being manipulated, like being controlled for one way or another.
You know how I was mentioning those Steely Dan songs?
Uh-huh.
And also that song I played at the end of your stream that got cut there. It's song Morph the Cat.
Yeah, that's it. Morph the cat. So why would they want to morph a cat?
Well, in the song, Morph the Cat is like a sky critter riding on a big poo cloud, it says.
Hell no.
Friends like us who watch the sky, we know it's Morph the Cat.
Would you believe that there are no screenings near my location for this fucking movie I want to see?
What's it called?
This movie I'm trying to look up and find underwater, and there's no screenings near me. What type of bullshit is that?
It's called Underwater?
Yeah.
There is a movie somebody was telling me about where these army or whatever technicians, they're going down into the ground and they're experiencing going through some kind of a wave or some kind of a field, and that time is different once you pass through that zone. So I guess the same would apply if you go up in the air into a different realm, if you can breach that threshold.
Well, these critters most likely are able to do that shit.
That the creation is like concentric bubbles. We live in a bubble with the atmospheric pressure, and then there'd be like a bubble underneath us with its own type of pressure, and another one outside us, like a glass onion or.
Yeah, and how you gonna get to them shits? I think these little critters probably did it first. I think motherfuckers was hitching rides with these sky critters back in the day. Excuse me. Pennsylvania. I'm not going to fucking Pennsylvania to see this shit. I'm about to be mad. I can tell now. I'm about to be mad. This shit gonna blow me.
I hate lining up for anything.
I'm gonna be mad if this shit is in a far off goddamn. Oh, fuck it. All that in it.
Miss IL says it's called Dark Waters or Underwater.
It's called Underwater.
It's called Underwater. Now, Red Squid, if you can't get it, man, I can pop it up. Once I end the show, I can pop it up.
We might have to do that. I'm trying to find a location now real quick. I Okay, I want to take my people with me.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Hey, well, just let me know, man. I usually can pop up any movie. You know, I used to be the DVD man.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
I used to be the DVD man.
Here I got
I had a 5-bay burner. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Underwater official trailer HD. And there's another one. A crew of underwater researchers must scramble to safety after an earthquake devastates their
Yeah, the
subterranean.
earthquake happened. Everything started getting flooded, yo. The shit. I don't even want to tell, man. It's good. It's good.
It says an earthquake devastates their subterranean laboratory.
These motherfuckers say ain't no screening in my area. It might be just that particular movie theater. Cineplex. This shit's from January. This shit came out on January 10th.
Yeah, it's been out for a minute, but not a lot of people talked about it. And it's an intriguing movie that it's like a thriller in a suspense. Keep you on edge. It makes you want to talk about some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because if you didn't know, you know, like how they do a lot of space movies, and if you didn't know they was underwater, you'd think they were in space. I mean, it's very intriguing.
Mm-hmm. Hold up. What's today? Today, motherfucker. Okay. Where is this at? Cinema City Movies 12. I might be in luck. Now I just gotta find out where the fuck that is. Cinema City Northgate. I hate for some shit to be planned on and then you know what I'm saying? Like one day I done planned to take my kids to this amusement. It was open day. I was mad as a motherfucker. I was like, hell no, we planned for this shit and everything. And my dumb ass went all the way out here and shit. That
Misael
motherfucker.
says he's watching. Sorry. Misael says he's watching Red Bad. I don't know what that is.
No.
I wanted to say that sugar, that artificial sweetener, that's terrible stuff. Causes cancer. A buddy of mine, his sister, she drank Diet Pop like crazy, and she had to get an operation. Like they drilled right into her face. She had cancer in her, somewhere in her head, like some gland in her head. She probably got from that artificial sweetener.
That's Dick Cheney. and his little he came up with that shit. Business owns that artificial, and
Maybe
they
I shouldn't
shot
say this,
damn
but
movies and went.
I'm related to Dick Cheney.
Really? That's sad. He's like the pink.
My grandfather,
So
that's my
he must be the
grandfather's
nemesis.
name, and my grandfather's name, and he was in the oil business. He was a engineer with Husky Oil. And
Oh, okay. So you're not related
he
to
looks
him.
like Dick Cheney too. He looked like Dick Cheney too. Yeah. So I'm the nemesis. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, he's smug. I don't know. He's a motherfucking ass.
Yeah,
Got
he's
all that
nasty.
bread. Yeah, yo. Smirking.
Yeah, my grandpa was a Shriner.
Yeah. I guess most people got relatives into the things like that. I mean, what you gonna do in the damn 1920s and shit? You might as well.
My sister took the bop on the head. Yeah,
What they call it? Eastern Star?
I don't know what it's called, but she went to the Masonic temple and got the bop on the head. She works in a charity organization.
Hmm.
So-called.
Hmm. I didn't know they bop ladies on the head, so to speak.
I don't know if it was exactly that, but I wasn't there.
Oh.
Just my nephew told me it reminded him of the stonecutters on The Simpsons.
Yo, this movie came out about 2 months ago. And my slow ass.
This trailer says 6 months ago.
With a trailer, probably 6 months. But then again, I don't know. I don't really know. It's just crazy. Why am I so off time? Between the time I first looked the preview for the movie, it's within the same like month. So how for a movie out when they don't even fucking show and shit for commercials? I don't understand why I'm so off this time. Underwater movie. And Google's no help. I need Siri. I think I need a Siri in my life.
I just searched YouTube.
Find me movie. Make it. It's one movie theater. That shit don't start till 9:25.
Well, man, everybody done got quiet. Yeah, that underwater movie is it's very good.
Shit, I might have to take you up on that offer, bro. And if I got problem finding it, then Miss L gonna definitely have a problem finding this shit. Unless Arizona in a whole nother time space continuum.
Let me see.
Here's a
here.
video of the
I'm going.
the water vibrating
Right
when I felt those frequencies.
What you said, Knowledge?
I said I'm working on it right now.
All right, cool. That shit came out in January 10th. The motherfucking movie theaters don't keep that type of shit that long.
Sometimes they do it for a movie.
At least you'll find it in like a bump down movie theater, like, you know, like one of them, you know, get they shit late.
Yo, if y'all want to check it out, let me see here. Go right here. No, it's not what I want. Okay, this is not the underwater that I'm looking for. I have to share from some other app. I'm looking for it now, Red. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, Red, you hear me? Can you guys hear me? I'm gonna download it, then I'm gonna upload it to my computer. Then I'm gonna share it from there. You guys can give me a minute if you want to check it out.
Okay, I'm here.
Yeah. So how we gonna do this? Everyone that's tuning in, I'm about to share my link again. Only 6 people can join in, unfortunately, at a time. But I'm gonna leave this channel open. I'm about to end the stream. I'm gonna leave this channel open while I set up everything to check this out. So to everyone that's watching, you're more than welcome. Before I end it, to click on the link and come in. So I'm looking for it now, see what I can do. Miss Ariel.
You know, I didn't want to miss this.
Yeah, man, I gotta download it.
My TV, so everybody could see it. Because I was trying to explain to them about that movie. We were watching another flick, but I'm more interested in this one.
Yeah, right now, I'm just I'm downloading it.
Hey, it don't even have. It don't even have. It's not even showing nowhere in Maryland. Period. So
Bro, I was looking for it too, and I couldn't find it.
that's crazy. So evidently, yo, Missile, this movie came out in 2000. I mean, in January.
Yeah, the 10th. Yeah, I was reading up on it. I was reading it. When did this come out? I saw the whole synapse of it, and I watched that trailer too, the one that Patrick was talking about. And yeah, it's man, I definitely want to see this movie. It got me on the edge of my seat on just a trailer.
I don't know. I feel like I've been Mandela. My whole concept of time is fucked up from when I saw the trailer to when it actually appeared in the movie theaters. And I just looked on demand, and that shit I could pre-order it, but I don't mean I can watch the motherfucker. I will pay on demand $20 to watch that bitch now in the comfort of my own home. But they want me to pre-order shit. Like these motherfuckers is crazy. They got it. The fuck?
Right?
Making people wait. This is that whole concept of time control. Like as soon as a motherfucking movie come out, they could put that bitch on DVD at the same time. Like when you walk out the theater, technically you could buy the DVD, right?
Right.
Like, a week after it's released in the movies, like they technically could put that bitch in your playlist on your on demand on your cable box. But they want you to wait. Like they won't wait it out.
No, but if
To
you want it now, they charge you up like fucking an arm and a leg for it.
uh,
You pay extra just to get it sooner. So you know how
Yeah, you
people
can
are impatient.
You can pre-order it on YouTube, it says.
But what does that mean? That means you order it before it's released. But I don't think you can see it, can you?
Here we go. I got it. Come on now, let's
That's
get
a
it.
good question.
Maybe that's the trick. You pre-order it, but then you don't know when you're going to get it. I don't know.
Hey, knowledge, but what you won't get flagged if you put it on YouTube?
Oh, I'm not putting it on YouTube, man. We're gonna watch this in the back chat once I download it.
Okay, that's what's up.
Mhm.
Oh, that's okay. That you said you were gonna end the stream, right?
Yeah.
Man, there's 2 slots left. Whoever wants to watch it,
I'm trying to tell you, y'all better come on in.
movie, just bring your own popcorn.
You think there'll be lag?
No, because I'm gonna have the actual movie file.
No, yeah, because if you download it, it's not gonna be no lag.
Okay. And we're not gonna be live too, and live be fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's not gonna be a stream anymore. It's gonna be just playing, just like playing a DVD. But when you start doing that, I'm gonna cast my phone to my television, so you could just watch it like that.
Okay. That's crazy, yo.
Know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
We're gonna be able to holler at you, knowledge, and tell you to pause it or bring it back.
Yeah. We should be able to, yeah.
2.2 gigabytes. Why is it not down? Oh, there we go. Not started yet. This one right here is 2.2 gigabytes. Cover details.
Yeah, yo, I used to go to the DVD, man, for all my movies, man.
So I was watching this movie called Red Bad. It's in the year 754 AD, during the time of the epic battles of bloodshed, the legends of the pagan warrior kings. That's when they used to do like human sacrifices and shit for their beliefs.
Where is that? Where is that?
It should be on demand. That's
No,
how I
I
found
mean,
it.
where is the setting at?
Oh, you know what? That's a good question. Because I only saw the beginning right now, but I didn't quite hear where. I just know the time period is 754 AD, and this probably like the Vikings era.
I wonder how long it's gonna take to upload on my computer though once I download it.
How big is the file?
2 gigabytes.
2 gig? Oh, it shouldn't take that long.
Yeah.
Shouldn't take that long.
It's downloading now to something separate other than my PC. Then I'm gonna send it to my PC once I'm done downloading it from here. Like I'm on here telling people how to download shit. Don't y'all be listening to me, YouTube.
This is King of Frisians.
Somebody came in.
This is King of Frisians.
Welcome to the
Hey,
show.
Raul.
Peace, guys.
Raul in the building.
Peace to
Hey,
the
what's
guys.
up,
Peace to the chat.
What's up, Raul?
What's up, Raul? What's up, man?
Ain't nothing, man. I'm just getting on the panel, man. I'm just literally finding out you guys was live.
Man, we've been
Really?
live.
Oh,
We've been
shit,
live
man.
several times today, man.
Several times, all day.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until now. Because I just literally got back on my computer. I wasn't really on my phone or my computer.
Well, we kept
What's going
switching
on,
channels. We kept
Say that
switching
again?
channels, that's why.
Say that again?
We kept switching channels. Well, Knowledge was switching channels from HOTC Universal to back here to Knowledge Uprising
Well, I'm
TV.
subscribed. Yeah, I'm subscribed to both. I don't know why I didn't get the notification. I had to literally go on YouTube and see that it was live, and then click on the live.
Yeah, on YouTube it'll tell you that on the corner is live. It'll tell you which one he's live on.
Yeah. What was going on though was the topic is about what we're talking about.
Man, we've been talking about all different kinds of things, man. Right now, we're gonna play a movie in the back chat once the stream is over.
Okay. Y'all gonna do a breakdown, or you're just gonna watch the movie?
We're gonna watch it,
Watch the
and then
movie?
I guess we'll do a review after that.
Yeah.
Sound about right.
Yeah,
What's
so we
going
got
on,
some
Rad?
critics up here right now. Some good critics.
Okay. What's going on, Red?
Chilling, bro, chilling. Got my fingers crossed, hoping everything go well with this.
Yeah, with the strikes, right?
That was real eye-opening, Raul. You and Squid were talking about the
You guys
So
get
yeah,
that
tell them
thing.
about
I
the
don't know
movie.
what you.
I gotta
Tell them
get
about the
my-
movie we're gonna watch. Called Underwater.
No. It's a surprise.
Raul
I don't know. I just
was
want,
saying that the ghost needs your help. It's not the other way around. I thought that was really cool. I never thought about that.
Oh yeah.
What are those
Who said-
things called? Like that dress-looking thing?
Say that again.
That cone thing? What the spirit was inside or something?
Yeah, that's what Squad was showing with the video that he had.
Yeah. What's that thing called?
Zangbero.
Yep, Zengbedo.
Zenbedo?
Yeah, I think it's ZENBEDO or something like that. I don't know if I'm even spelled right. Zengbedo was it? I don't know. Red will give you that better than me because he's the one that put up the video. I think it's better.
ZANGBETO. Like Zang Beto.
Yeah,
Zenbedo.
that shit was crazy though. Like the video wasn't good, but it was good enough. Like I said, it was good enough. Like you could see like they lift up the fake costume. Like there was nothing under there, and they spin it around so like in a 360, so everybody not a 360, but like a circle, so everybody around them could see like it's nothing under there. That was mind blowing at that point. Because even when they was kind of lifted up, everybody's legs was kind of blocking. I couldn't really see if there was no legs. But when they kind of like face it to the camera and to the public, like all around, like you really see there was nothing under there.
Yeah, the video was choppy. It wasn't really a smooth video, so I couldn't really like I could see it standing there by itself, but
Yeah, you had to pay close attention because I think it was 2 clips he showed. Like in the second one, there was at one point like they lift up the dress and they kind of like tilt it to one side and make it face the camera and turn it and spin it around.
and I guess those were the different medicine men that were going around. Like the one guy had like grass around his waist.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Yeah,
things going on.
Yeah, it seemed like they was invoking the spirit. And at first I guess it wasn't catching, and so they emptied it out. Or they showed the bottom.
Yeah, which iPhone is that? Or is that even an iPhone?
That's it right there. It's download. It done downloaded like about 15%.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so it's gonna be a
15% in
while.
about what, 10 minutes? So we're looking at maybe 30 minutes of wait till it's downloaded all the way.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I'm not gonna end this download and then start another download because sometimes it'd be a faster download, but I just went with this link and I want to see how it play out. See if it'll download all the way because it's moving.
So
It's
it
not
stays in your phone offline.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could like even if you offline, you could still watch it. Meaning that you don't got internet, you could still
Yeah.
watch it type shit.
Yeah, I'm just about to
So you watching it on your phone first to make sure it's clear and shit?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, actually I can see the whole entirety of the movie, like just like you said, to see how it play or to see what each link looks like because each link plays the movie different. So I can probably go with another link and like, oh, okay, so that's how this link looks. You know.
Yeah, some of them is bootleg.
I ain't gonna lie, man. The last copy I had, man, was pretty decent.
Holy crap, holy man. So speaking of movies, there's a movie called hold on. Let me get the right name. Color Out of Space.
Nah.
Wait a minute. No, it can't be that. Can it?
All right. Color Out of Space.
No, that ain't it. That ain't it. Wait a minute. Is that it? That's confusing.
But have you ever seen a show called Travelers on Netflix?
Travelers, no.
Yeah, it's a show called Travelers on Netflix. It's kind of decent.
I watched October Faction and Messiah, and there was another series I watched. And I fucked with Netflix because then I know them shows been out for a minute. So that I could watch all the motherfucking shows one after another.
I got my chips ready.
There we go. Come on. Just waiting for it to download. Shit. Imagine I used to do this all the time.
Well,
We got 1 gigabyte to go, y'all.
okay. So Nicolas Cage is doing an H.P. Lovecraft movie. That don't necessarily mean it's talking about the Cthulhu.
Nicolas
But I don't
Cage with his Elvis complex.
Where he thinks he's the king or some shit.
Yeah.
I recently saw, I don't know why. Damn, isn't this weird? So I recently saw an old footage from the Tonight Show or with Jimmy Carson or one of them type old fucking shows from like the early 80s. And I saw Nicolas Cage on there. Like look at this look at this concept of synchronicity, right? Like this is maybe a week or two ago. And I'm just randomly going through my news feed on YouTube and I see this shit that says Nicolas Cage blah 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 on the show. And you see a young Nicolas Cage. Oh yeah. You see a young Nicolas Cage in like this leather jacket, and he got this, he got this look about him and shit, and he really thinks he's the shit. Like when he's at this sitting there, he really thinks he's the shit. Like he's really confident in himself. Whole time he got the receding hairline and shit going on.
Yeah.
I first saw him in that movie Raising Arizona.
Yeah, me too.
Thought he looked really goofy. It's the first time I saw him.
That's funny. And you older than me, and you seen that shit. I'm not
it's
sure
like
that was the first movie.
It's like when I first saw George Clooney, I thought he was a really goofy looking motherfucker. And then he's supposed to be the handsomest man in the world.
Yeah, I remember that phase where they thought he was handsome because he had gray hair but wasn't really that old or some shit. But Nicolas Cage was on this fucking show acting like he was the shit. Now, this is when he was young. And I'm just like, yo, he really thought he was the shit he had the ego like out this world. Like he was just the shit. I don't understand. And then when you look at his career, he made hella movies. But he's still a meatball. He's still a meatball. He got more bombs. He's like a character actor. Like I'll fucks with him because I done seen him so many times and he kind of just play himself all the time. He's like a regular type dude, but I don't know. When he first showed up on that show, I was just like, this motherfucker thought he was gonna be a Denzel Washington or some dumb shit. Like people don't really fuck with this guy, but he stay in movies. That's all I'm saying. So like you said, Plant, I seen him in Raising Arizona, and he did a movie where he thought he was a vampire, and he ate a roach, and like he really did that. He really ate the roach in real life just for the movie. So that was weird. He worshiped the devil heavy. He's one of them character actors. He's a weirdo.
Yeah, I feel like all of them worship the devil. All of his
Yeah.
kind. I don't want to say. I don't want to mention no race or anything like that. But since we talk about him, he is already a different race. So all of his kind, I think they all worship the devil.
Like all these top actors, I don't even think they're allowed to have their own normal children.
Yeah, that's facts. That's crazy. He said that. That's one of my beliefs. I don't think all these babies they be having is real babies. When I say real babies, like us, it's be like bots. That them niggas be having.
Yeah. It's like they're born bots, and they can turn them into a woman or a man or whatever they want to use them for in the entertainment.
The first nigga I thought about that was like that was Stephen Curry, that basketball player.
Hey, that's funny.
Did you say Stephen Curry?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Like, you know, they got AI to a degree of level of height when a motherfucker can play ball. You know what I'm saying?
Shit,
Like,
they got the motherfuckers doing all type of shit.
like if that motherfucker can play basketball, dribble, and shoot, and do all that shit you have to do in basketball, then that motherfucking AI is smart as a bitch.
And that nigga elevated basketball to a different level, bro, with the shooting.
Did he? Because I didn't follow Stephon that much. I don't know. I just know
Nah,
about
it's not even him. It's like basketball. If you follow basketball, you go see. After he stopped popping, bro, everybody start taking threes like more often and start taking like deep threes. And he started that shit. Before, niggas was more shooting like long range two. And in a basketball game, you probably get like five threes for the whole game. Now, nigga, you getting like shit 50, 40 threes. One nigga alone shooting like 20 threes in the game.
right. Hey yo, Dojo the Great in the chat. He said Clooney and Denzel Washington were seen as beautiful men because they have symmetrical faces. Both sides are evenly proportioned. And you made me think about Kobe Bryant when you talked about Stephon Curry, because Kobe Bryant, he don't have that symmetry. He got one side of his face, one eye is smaller than the other. And I don't know his history. I don't know if he had somebody smash his face in.
That nigga wasn't even born in America. I think he was born overseas in
Could
Rome.
be an android the whole time.
The nigga was born in Rome.
Mm.
And that nigga came over here.
Dojo said he looked like 100 motherfuckers at once. That's funny. That's funny. That's them psychedelics, yo, making them Buddha images of mirrors and shit. Like, yo, man, Dojo, man, I wish there was a way that we could, I don't know what it would take. I don't know if somebody need to hit the lottery. But yo, I swear to God, if I could somehow provide the financial freedom so that we could link up, I want some of that potion, yo. I want some of this concoctions that you put together, yo. Like real shit. Like I would love for you to make some laboratory shit. I'm trying to get high, yo. You hear me? I'm trying to get. Yo, Dojo did a video where he was like potion and he held up this goddamn vial or some shit. And I'm like, yo, this motherfucker, if I ain't like him, I'll be jealous and shit. Like he got some LSD, some shrooms, and some weed oil in that bitch. I just know it. I'm trying to get some of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get some of that. Yo, Dojo the scientist. He might not wear that lab coat, but goddamn it. And you know what I'm saying? Yo got the lab wife beater or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Definitely though, man. See, my HOTC so great, man. Motherfuckers got hella angles. Hella angles. And when I saw that vial of green mystery, I was like, that's the shit Dojo getting high off. Oh man. Damn, Dojo. Take some drops for me, bro. You got to be able to bring that shit through. You got to be able to send nobody looking for that shit. Just get a spinnerella, a spirulella bottle or some shit, or some coconut water and shit, and just replace it. Liquidate that whole shit. You know what I'm saying? They will not be looking for it. and agents, if you listening, I curse you if you ever try to impede on these plans. Motherfucker. What the fuck? That may be what we need, is like somebody to come out with some shit and motherfuckers be straight. See, that's what they can't control. They can't control the chemists. The chemist gonna come out with some shit, and we get a hold of that shit. They'll be like, 45 UFOs just went down. We don't know why. Yeah, motherfucker be jumping in a UFO, turning a wheel all hard and shit, and jumping out that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. I was watching Aboriginal TV last night. I think they got some nice content over there though. I just wanted to get on there and ask them a certain question, but I didn't get. They didn't put me in there. They only put me to introduce myself, and that was it.
Well, you went on the panel?
Yeah, for a little bit, I just got to introduce myself, and that was it.
Yeah, they probably thought you was African and just like they act like they, you know what I mean, nobody can contribute probably. And I can't say that for Aboriginal TV, but I know that people he have on his panel, they be real live. And in the chat, they be real live. Like if they hear somebody with an accent. But I mean, look, you got some people that's from Jamaica and shit, they be on that motherfucker, but you know what I'm saying? I think if people hear that African accent or a Haitian accent, they're going to be like, oh, we know what he talking about. But I don't know. At the same time, I'm not trying to paint yo in a box. But it's just
I
people
just
that
like
on the
I
panel.
just like the content they have over there, what they be talking about, because they be talking about some real, like, rebellion, like, I don't know, bro. I just feel like they be coming. The only thing I see is that it's like they're building up. They're not taking it to the government. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're like, all right, we know what we're doing. We know who we are. You know, we know what's going on between us. But also we know who's doing what and who's doing what. But we ain't gonna tell them nothing. But if they come and fuck with us, we're gonna let them know. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got it straight.
I hear that. I definitely support that shit, though, you know. Like, whatever come out of it, even though I hear a lot of arguing, it's like, it's probably the most intense arguing out of all the YouTube channels right now.
Hell yeah. I ain't gonna front. I'm like, damn, they got 140 something people watching,
Mm-hmm.
and they just hit 1,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yo. The argument be intense as shit. One dude was up there saying that he went to them pyramids. Like, he was lying his ass off. They just found them bitches last year and shit.
Which pyramid?
The Ladanta pyramid in Bolivia or some shit.
Man, they couldn't have just found it. They already just put that out there to the masses.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of things that's been kept away from the masses, and every time now and then they let you know something as if they just found it out. Nigga, you been hiding that shit.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely feasible, and like they say that the new sonar and radar techniques able to penetrate canopy and trees allowed them to find that, and it's the biggest pyramid in the world by volume. But I don't know. I don't think they put the Bosnian pyramid up in these scales. Like you see the pyramid of Giza, the Eiffel Tower, and all these other landmarks, but the pyramid of the sun in Bosnia is huge. It looks like a mountain, and you can definitely see it's made of bricks and shit, like big ass, blocks. And that's some shit that I want to. When people talk about masonry and we built these pyramids and shit, like I'm gonna start throwing Bosnia pyramid like that's the only ammunition I got, because there's so little known about it, and it's in the area of Bosnia. Like, what the fuck? That's like way in Caucasus Mountain region.
Hey, I saw a video about that Bosnian pyramid,
Yeah.
and there's like underwater, underground streams, and there's like some kind of big rock underneath there, and it has like healing properties. It's picking up all the, like, people go in there to heal. There's some kind of big weird rock that I don't know, transmits all the positive energies from the ground.
Mm-hmm. They got healing pools in Scandinavia.
Where is that? Where is Bosnia at?
It's like
It's,
Yugoslavia, like east of Italy, west of Greece.
It's north of the Caucasus, I think.
So
Yeah, I mean, you see, I mean, all these country, right? All this country have like people like us, right? Melanated people, right? And these people are not living in equality with the mulattoes or the Romans that's living over there. So they're in control over there, and they, of course, they're gonna hide certain shit. They're gonna say, "Yo, you can't go over there. Over there is restricted." You know what I'm saying? And whenever they feel like it's ready, they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, niggas could go over there. Oh shit, we found this shit over there. We never knew."
yeah, I worked with some people from over there, and they're really racist. The ones that I met, like the Serbians and
because we know
Albanians are really nice. Albanians are really nice people, the guys that I worked with. But the Serbians and the
Yo, I met an
Croatians.
Albanian back in 2000. I met an Albanian in 2000. He was cool. He was cool, yo. He was into hip hop and shit. He was a cool dude. You feel me? But yeah, I was wrong. Bosnia is above Greece. It ain't nowhere near the Caucasus Mountains. My bad.
Yugoslavia, when Yugoslavia was a country, it encompassed Serbia, Bosnia, Croatia, and Herzegovina, I think. And then they had those wars and split everybody up.
Yeah. I wonder, you know what's so interesting? There's Rome and there's the Romania, and then there's the Roma people. Isn't that interesting?
The Roma are the gypsies, right?
Yeah. They roam. And I used to think that the gypsies was the original swag of all them peoples over there. For some reason, because they had this tradition of keeping it moving. When motherfuckers was living tents and pitching tents, like when you look at them maps about so-called Tartaria, like they all had tents, big ass tents. And it's like motherfuckers kept it moving, like Native Americans, so to speak, the so-called Mongoloid Indians. They'd use tents and they kept it moving.
Probably the gypsies were the remnants of the Tartarians after they were taken over by the Phoenicians. The people that remained on the land and didn't belong to the new culture or whatever. Gypsies are all over the place. They're in England and Ireland, all over Europe.
Yep. and they got witchcraft. They're witchcrafty type motherfuckers. You know?
Yeah, they understood the forces of nature. They live in nature, so
That movie Thinner was about a gypsy who cursed a man, and that motherfucker just got thinner and thinner through the whole movie. That shit was crazy.
What you guys
So
think?
you know what's interesting?
You guys think that is
You got
or good to be
What?
able to use the forces of nature?
I think it's depending on how they use it. Like I think the lady had a good reason to curse him, and that shit worked. So I guess it was, you know.
And I wasn't really talking about the movie, but I like how you answer it though. Like depending on how they use it. I like that answer.
Right. Because if we do some type of conjuring or use the elementals, then we'll be doing it in a good way. If we would use that shit to like combat evil.
Yeah, that's what happened in the past. It happened in 1804.
Right.
hey, Squid, some of these agents around here, it seems like they're all limping now. And they don't bring the dogs around here anymore.
A Knowledge Uprising. Nuth wants you to drop the link again. So the agents is back off from you, probably because you've been getting stronger with the spirits around you, yo.
Let me drop the link, man. I'm still waiting for it to download, man. I'm gonna let you guys know when it's done. I'm over here trying to figure out a way to get it done faster.
I mean, does it give you a time? Because listen, unless you the one that don't want to wait and get frustrated, that's what I'm worried about.
Oh no. I ain't got no problem. I'm sitting here waiting.
Oh, okay. Well, I wouldn't want you to fuck nothing up trying to speed it up.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, I'm willing. Listen, I don't
Nuth wants to get on.
Hey, look, today we got time, man.
Yeah, definitely. Because now that I'm not going to see the movie, then that's like $30 that I'm keeping and nowhere to go. Less money to spend. You know what I'm saying? Because my dumb ass is the type that'll pull up into a Chick-fil-A. You know what I mean? Like with my last. With my last. Like I can't spend no more money. Can I get a 2 chicken sandwiches, no pickles?
Hey, Sir Drop, Nuth, peace.
What's up? What's up?
What's up with y'all, man?
What's going on?
Chilling.
What's good, Sir Dropping North, man? What's how y'all?
All right. Can y'all hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
All right. All right. It's a pleasure to be up here building with you brothers today. You know, I just got off work. I had to cancel the conference because it was an unexpected overtime for Saturday, so I had to go in. But it's gonna be on and popping next weekend for sure. You know, I'm really trying to put this together so that we can actually bring a platform to the people with all our ideas. Everybody got a voice, you know. So and that's my aim and my purpose. You know, that's all I just want to spread the information to those that are light workers and those that's living in the dark and trying to bring their light out. And that's
shit, plant face, free.
You know what? I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad because I ain't gonna lie. I had shit lined up that I needed to do today, but last night I thought I gotta send you that text. I send you that message, right? And I didn't think about it until just now. But I'm terrible. Like there's some instrumental tracks that I've yet to send to Spiritual Creed, and I've been telling them I was gonna send them one. You know what I mean? It's like when a motherfucker got something to do, I'll fuck around and wait past the last minute. You hear me?
Yeah,
So
and there's a lot of things trying to block it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had got sick. You know what I'm saying? It was a conflict with me and bro. It's just so many things that was, and I just was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let this shit ride. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna lose focus on the purpose. Because
and they
like
give more time. They give more time to really like hone in on some shit.
Oh yeah, because like I say, man, I've been listening to everybody.
Me personally, I'm trying to channel all these different personalities into like one thing. Like I might drop a couple gems here and there, but I still don't feel I'm conscious as I need to be. You see what I'm saying? It's more or less like dibbing and dabbing with consciousness versus living that shit to the fullest. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's like some sobering, humbling truth, yo, Sir Drop. Shout out to you, bro, if you willing to say that.
And Drop, what I've learned through this consciousness and spirituality, and this is why I named it that. There's no right and wrong in this. You know what I'm saying? You find what makes you, what completes you, and what gives you enlightenment. You live out your truth. That's your consciousness. That's your spiritual path. It ain't about right or wrong, because that's what you gotta live. That's your spiritual growth. That's your journey. I did a video with the tarot card when I talked about the journey of the fool, from the fool to the universe, to the world, where all these steps that we take on our spiritual growth, it's by ourselves. It's a lonely journey, but you come across things along the way, and these things don't do nothing but add on to your own growth. So just you saying that, just like Brother Squid said, it's sobering, because a lot of us is going through that, where we just trying to find a gateway where we can project that what we got on our heart, our truth, and put it out there. And I think that's where I got the idea for the conference, where everybody can come and just have however much time they need to drop their spiel, uninterrupted, no debate, just a place. And we can do this annually. You know what I'm saying? Every month or every 2 months, every 3 months, however, on whoever platform, because I think this is what's needed, you know what I'm saying, in this time that we're living in, because it's just so much confusion out here, to the point that when those of us that's on this frequency bumping heads with it, then what are we giving to those that are actually out here seeking it? And the eternal shit, it's not so much that we at each other's throat on some real shit. It's just that we have different ideologies, we have different thoughts, we have different opinions on shit. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if we are able to make a singularity what a person think, like Squid, he got the way he kick it. Sir Drop, you got a way you speak it. Everybody got a way they do their thing. But if we able to express it and put it out there uninterrupted, you know what I'm saying, with our audiences, then I think we'll get more done.
Hey, you're going in, bro. You're going in.
Yeah, that's fair facts right there.
Because only one thing is just that instead of like us trying to find that one panel that for all of us to for all of us to do it on that one panel. Most of us already have our own panel. We might as well be mature enough to do it like that every time we have an open panel.
But what I
You don't necessarily got to do it like that, but you will want repetition. So at least once a day, you use that panel or that platform, so it starts being people can expect some content coming from it, and then as everybody work their own platform, you send traffic to that other platform. You know what I'm saying? Sort of how we doing it already, but like if you notice, one of us is live almost every hour of the day, almost. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we get that solid platform, that's what Knowledge trying to do with the HOTC, the same exact thing, to where you got access with the email and everything, so it's like more than one person's channel. You see what I'm saying? To where a lot of people can go in and upload, because you get a password and an email out to the people you want to have access to that one channel. You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
yeah, just like Drop was saying, and I understand what you're saying too, Raul. Don't get me wrong. I really understand what you're saying. Everybody got their own lane. And this is what I'm saying. What if we can bring everybody lane on one conference where everybody's spitting what they gotta spit? You know what I'm saying? And then this link from the conference.
Move as one.
Yeah, and then this one link from the whole conference can go on whoever channel that's on the panel. Like Sir Drop, you was on the panel. Knowledge Uprising on the panel. Red Squid on the panel. Plant Face on the panel. Y'all all get a link and y'all can put it on y'all page and do what y'all want with it. That's y'all intellectual property. I don't own that. The only thing I want to do is get it all in one place so we can put it in one place and we can
see, that's what I was doing with HOTC Universal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to anyway.
Exactly. And we can build on that, bro. It's about unity with the community, not, you know what I'm saying, everybody just going, it's chaos. Chaos good. Don't get me wrong. Chaos is good. That's what created the universe. But order had to come in to form things into shape. So we got to form it into some type of shape where we can package it and give it to the people that really need it. We got it. We the enlightened ones, It's
and
those
you said there's 100 people that could be on there, right?
Yeah, 100 participants. Yep, 100 participants. Up to 100 participants. Unlimited. And you ain't got no time. It ain't no time limit. It's 24 hours. If we want to do a conference for 24 hours, we can do it. You know what I'm saying? And that was what I wanted to bring to the people, to the HOTC. You know what I'm saying? That cause y'all welcomed me in, and I just wanted something to offer other than a whole bunch of rhetoric, a whole bunch of talk.
Hey, I'm gonna make y'all moderators right quick. I'm about to run to the store. I got my phone still right here downloading, but I gotta go get some cigars, man. Sunlight get down. So y'all brothers, y'all can mod the show. So y'all go ahead and just take over right quick. I'll be back in about 10, 15 minutes.
Hold up, bro.
All right, be safe.
Hold up, bro.
But yeah, I just wanted to jump on.
That is a universal idea, because what you just said is that's how all of us is thinking, and I'm thinking we got to choose a designated direction to do this from. That's the whole thing, because it's a lot of leaders, ain't really nobody, no followers. So what ends up happening is people just stand on their square. But we're gonna have to vote shit in and shit like this to start getting organization and organized talks and organized meetings and start getting people that we can get connected with us, right? That's not on the internet, but they boots on the ground and they travel and send a message. There's people that will write music and put music out repping that H and it's still it's different ways to get this truth out there. You see what I'm saying? And we can bring that whole cabal together. You see what I'm saying? Then you working with some type of force. People will gravitate to the lifestyle of it, sort of like hip hop. It's a lifestyle now. It's like Rasta. But no, it's the shit we pushing, no matter what the name of it would be. They would tag a name on it. You know how you got trap music? They would tag this consciousness. They would say something like, that's that hardcore consciousness, or that's that because the way we bring information, like you said earlier, is all with a different tongue and a different way, and it's different things. So you would have to listen to all of us just to get that one thing you looking for. You never mind, forget it, rant. But y'all go ahead.
Hey, you got it. You pretty much said everything I'm pretty much trying to say in a nutshell. And it's about collaboration. It's about collaborating our minds instead of scattering it in opinions and loose conversations. But if we can get it to a point where you got a brother talking about economics, you got a person talking about the secret government, you got a person talking about spirituality, you got a person talking about the occult, you got a person talking about free energy, you got a person talking about, and everybody got their chance to talk and put this out, and just flood the fucking internet with this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's powerful because can't nobody say that a person did an 8-hour stream and the information was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You got a 3 to 4 hour stream where you got powerful brothers or and sisters speaking what they got to speak, and then you got a question and answer, and then you got an actual hodgepodge of the brothers that's on the panel spitting they spill like we normally do. You can't leave that because that's what steel sharpens steel at. That's what we sharpen each other at. But my main focus is getting the information out to the people. That's my main focal point. Those that's out here seeking, because there's a lot of people out here just trying to find it. They tired of the sonetters. They tired of the carbonations. They tired of all these fake ass conscious people. And they want to know what conscious, they want to know what that true conscious feel is. And that's just people that's passionate about they truth and just go out on the line for it.
Basically, they want it uncut and raw because it's a business when you get to talking to Starnetters, Tommy Sotomayor, this, that, and the third. These motherfuckers are making money, so they really tailor it for that because it's their job. But then when you hear us, we doing this shit for damn near free, bro. Spitting this spill, you know what I mean? So they see it's uncut. There's no ulterior motive behind it. But now, if I'm making $5,000 every 2 days, 3 days, bro, I might have to tailor it because now it's business. You understand what I'm saying? We don't treat this as a business. This is why the truth is uncut. But I guarantee you, if somebody started sponsoring you and giving you your narrative and paying you, it'd be hard for you to speak your content. That would make you an agent. You see what I'm saying? From now, you gatekeeping the truth for $1. And that's what most of them big conscious channels do.
That's right. That's you 100 on that. Yep. That's right. That's right. You're 100% correct. Right. But yeah, I had really wanted to get on here because y'all got to talking about my side of the spectrum. Y'all got to talking about the occult. and spirituality and magic. And I kind of lost thought on it because we got into talking to something else. But when we get to talking about magic and what magic really is, it's not the illusions that of the David Copperfield and the David Blaine. It has everything to do with the body, the 5 elements, and manipulating those forces to suit your needs. And inside of this science, there's no good and bad. It's just all about intention. Now, if your intention is malevolent, you're going to get malevolent results. If your intentions is benevolent, you're going to get benevolent results. You know what I'm saying? Me, myself, I don't never call myself, quote unquote, doing magic on people. That's stupid. Because I don't consider myself even supposed to be here on this earth plane. I'm just in it. I'm not of it. So what my job is to do while I'm here is to conquer it, to conquer my carnal desires, to circumnavigate people, places, and things, and find.
You on a conquest?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. If I could, I would destroy this whole shit because it ain't nothing but an illusion to me. This is my reality. Now, let me put it to you like this.
Oh, pinky in the brain.
It's like, check this out. It's just like this. It's like you play Grand Theft Auto, and you have a.
Can I say something right quick before you continue, bro? You say if you can, you will destroy the whole thing. You don't think that's a little selfish? You don't think if you could, you'd rather get out of it since you say you're not off it?
Now, I'm gonna explain it this way.
No, he said you would kill him, like everything.
I'm gonna put it to you like this, right? Now, you know the game Grand Theft Auto, right? You CJ, right? And everything inside CJ's reality is CJ's reality. So if he destroyed everything in his reality, pretty much he destroyed everything in his reality. We have to understand that all this shit is an illusion. It's a series of events that never really fucking happened, except inside of the imagination or the dream or the subconscious mind of the avatar. It's like I'm trying to keep it as basic as possible, man, because the best way I can say it, if you look at the movie The Matrix or even Inception, they pretty much tell you.
Hold up, bro. You ain't gonna kill me, bro.
No, I'm not talking about that. Now look, y'all.
Can I have a little conversation with you, bro, for a little bit?
Because you got to think about it. Your reality is your reality. If I never knew you, you would have never existed to me, right? Am I correct? So if a tree fall in China and I didn't see that tree fall, did that tree really fall? To me, it's
but
not in my
deep. But listen, hold on, this is where it get deep. It fell to deep. I feel I'm everywhere. So just because my physical flesh is right here, I'm walking through your living room right now, mentally. So now when you talking, I got my own picture of your book. You know how you read a book and you gotta put images to it. When y'all be talking and stuff, I got a whole world mapped out for y'all. I don't give a fuck if I'm right about the world or not. To me, this motherfucker is this high, boom, 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 boom. I'm not gonna dig into nobody's fucking to even try to figure them out. This is what my world presents. Like you saying, in your world, you saying that the tree fell. In my world, I'm saying if every tree fell, I was there, and I'm like, I can imagine it. So they gave us that magic word, but then they called it imagine it. When really, you do magic your whole life. You know how you can come in a room and uplift everybody, or somebody can come in a room and kill the whole spirit of the room. That's magic in itself. That's real magic. Now the magic they give us is a deceitful trick. Like say I sit a egg up, right? And I'm holding the egg and I'm chanting some weird ass shit, right? And then I let the egg go and the egg don't tip over, right? If you don't know, it's just that the yolk went to the bottom of the egg and that's how the egg is standing up. You would think I'm magic when really you just don't know how I did it. But real magic is vibes and emotions, and if I can stop, if I can trick the devil, which is the goal, to see the devil, that's the goal. Don't let him get you and sign you into a deal. That's the goal. So if I can stop an evil ass motherfucker from doing an evil act, then I trick the evil. I offset the balance. I stop him from killing him. You see what I'm saying? Or I stop by just something I say. That's real magic. But the magic they give us is nothing but trickery, man. But go ahead.
Yeah, you're right on point with that, Drop. But I wanted to have a conversation with the brother on the reality being not what it is. Because the reason I said that, we understand this reality is a reflection, but it's reflecting from somewhere. You got what I'm saying? So to the only way to destroy the reflection is to destroy what it's reflecting from. And one other thing again is that this reality that we are witness this reality together as a whole. It's not just you having this reality by yourself. You have your perspective of it by yourself, but we all have our own perspective, and we all in it together. But you could go ahead.
Bro, we're
Now,
making a tear drop. A tear slowly dropping from my eye right now.
now the main thing that I hear from a lot of people in the
Yeah,
world
I guess you
is,
don't want to elaborate on that. You understand? Hey, he
is
was talking to you, man.
I'm on it. I'm on it. The only thing I hear, what I hear a lot about in the world is the dissatisfaction of the world and ways to fix it. But the main thing a person don't attempt to do is to fix themselves or to fix their thinking or to fix their mind. Because at some point, we have to understand that first principle of hermetics, the all is mind and the universe is mental, right? So if all is mind and the universe is mental, it will make a person to further postulate or to further conceptualize that everything you think inside of your mind bring forth a reality in your outer world. But the thing is, we do this every day haphazardly. We're always doing it every day based on emotions, the five senses, and also the outer stimuli of things outside of ourselves. That forms our reality. So once you begin to get into a concept of spirituality, mystic system, occult, things like that, you start to understand how all the elements in the mind and the universes and the as above, so below correspondences and all these things is actually you. Then what you begin to start doing, you start become aware that this whole reality, everything that you see being an observer, is actually things that you rendering in real time. But the main thing that the powers that be did, they understood this. So they gave us technology. They gave us distractions. They gave us TV. They gave us cell phones. They gave us entertainment. They gave us things to distract us from who we are. And they implant ideals and things inside our psyche to give us a false reality of what the world is.
All right,
So
bro. Stop for a little bit. You see how you said that is all start like with yourself, but you didn't start with yourself. you go outside of yourself, like by trying to destroy everything, when you could literally start with yourself, like first. And on top of that, you gotta, like I said, bro, like you have your own version, you have your own illusion of this reality, and everybody does. So if anything, you have to destroy your own version of that. You can't destroy the whole reality. That's why it's all start with self.
You right. You 100% right. Maybe I verbalized it a little to the
No,
extreme.
you should have said it like this. You should have said, as you destroy this universe, you're gonna recreate this shit doper with the same people in it. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, the model will bring in heaven on earth. You see what I'm saying? So reconstruct the universe where to be a better place. I think what you were saying for real.
That was dope. That was dope from both of y'all,
Yep.
Raul and Sir Drop. For real, for real. And
Youth.
I just want to throw in 10 seconds or something and be like, when you say like the laws or the principle of hermeticism, like it sounds like you would be destroying those concepts and how they were learned by you and redeveloping or re-teaching from that language. It would be a change to that. You know what I'm saying? To the sense of where it's like, yeah, say, it's all, the mind is all or something to that effect, but you're dealing with spirituality and you're
Yeah.
dealing with physicality. And I understand that the mind has a control or power of perception over those things. But I think that when you use those terminologies, you will be doing something the teachers of hermeticism, so to speak, quote unquote, like that would be beyond their realm. You feel me? Because you in the now, you know what I mean? Type shit. So it's like I wouldn't just because let's say you had studied hermeticism, I wouldn't call you a hermeticist just because I would think that's somewhat primitive compared to our perception living in now. You know what I mean? Not to say that they didn't have or those teachings don't shed no insight on no shit, but I think that you retelling it would be a changing to it or destruction of its original form. That's all I'm saying.
And I want
So
the brother
you
to know also, I'm not disagreeing with what he's saying. I'm just disagreeing with the choice of word, with the word that he chose to use. But the concept, like I get why he's trying to say though. That's why I want him to know. But you could go ahead, bro.
can I mention something about that? So like we're all of us here are we're reaching out to increase our knowledge, right? There's stuff we don't know and we're reaching out, but you always got to come back to your center, right? If you go down a rabbit hole, you have to come out the same rabbit hole before you go down another one, right? To bring yourself back to center. This is just my feeling on it. It's like if you're ill, that illness came from outside of you. So like if you're spread out too thin with your thinking and you don't come back to your center, then that makes you more susceptible to bad things coming into you. Like if I'm ill, I've been really ill to just about dying. I had pneumonia one time, and I just kind of consciously pulled back to my center and try to push that illness out from my center. I don't know if you know what I'm saying.
What now?
I,
What you mean? Oh my
I
fault.
know exactly what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I
So
know.
now I don't really know. I hear him, but I don't know what he mean by pushing it out. I mean push it out from the center.
It's like I think it's like combating foreign alien type parasites, like death. You know what I mean, or not death, but like sicknesses, illness. I think he described as like foreign bodies. And so, your body doesn't naturally create bodies that help kill you. If anything, your energy, your mind, your spirit and body, it has the ability to create cureness to those ills, or defenses.
That's facts.
You know what I mean? So I think that's what he's talking about. Like he concentrated on the natural defenses to combat those foreign agents type shit.
But I want to know, like, how he do that though, because
Here's how you do it. Listen, I'm about to tell you how you do it, and then you can say the because part. Now, how you do it is you think this shit out of existence. You say, I'm not sick, and you believe it, bro. You can say, I am sick, and believe it, and then get fucking sick. They call it Munchausen syndrome, but you can actually think, like, say you got the flu, you in the bed, you can become sick, or you can get your motherfucking ass up and say, I ain't motherfucking sick. And then like when you wake up after you get some good sleep, that's why they say sleep the best medicine, and you believe you're not fucking sick, you ain't gonna be fucking sick, bro. Once I started thinking like that, I barely catch a cold, man. Barely.
All right, I do that all the time. But when you put something in your body and it causes you like, meaning that when you eat something or you drink something and that thing bring a illness to your body, is a different type is different when you think yourself to be sick. You understand that?
No, your body will dispose that. You either gonna have diarrhea, vomiting, or a cold sweat. And you're gonna wake
what
up.
I'm saying though.
Listen,
I'm saying that you getting what I'm saying, you getting sick. Listen, I'm saying you getting sick from something you eat or drink.
A foreign substance. Now, what I'm telling you is your body will digest that and dispose of that by stinking ass feet, bad breath, sweating effusively, crying, diarrhea. Your body has its own mechanism to get the shit out of it.
Yeah, Red just said that, and I say, yeah, that's facts. But now listen to my point. My point is, do you understand that by you getting sick from eating something and thinking of the sickness is two different type of is different?
Yeah, you got diseases. I mean, like, you got viruses, you got parasites, you got what is it? Just regular germs. You understand? You got all type of things that can irritate the body. They call it sick, but it's an irritation. Your body has an allergen to it. Well, you basically can go get a Benadryl for anything, but they got motherfuckers taking all this other shit over the counter. You can go get one fucking Benadryl or take a shot of apple cider vinegar. And
give me the mic for like 2 seconds.
Man. Go ahead, bro.
Give me the mic for 2 seconds. Let me say that, right? Like, if I think myself to get sick, I could think myself to not get sick. That's understandable. What I'm saying, if I eat something or drink something and I get sick from that, now I gotta eat something or drink something in order to reverse that sickness also. I can't just take it out.
No, you don't. If you eat some bad fish, right, and it gets you sick, right, guess what the hell you gonna do? You either gonna break out in hives, face might swell up, or you might vomit. That's the way your body gets rid of what you put in it that it ain't fucking with. You can you see what I'm saying? It's when
that's the way the body react to something that's not supposed to be in it, but that's not the way the body get rid of it.
Heals itself. That is the way it heals itself.
Nah, bro, that's the way it react to it, bro.
You get a hair bump, bro. You're gonna get a big ass pimple on your fucking face. You're gonna squeeze it and the pus gonna come out and the hair bump gonna go away. With no type of topical type ointment or nothing.
You're talking about you being allergic.
If your soul hurt, you gonna cry and ain't even water coming out your eyes.
But listen though, you're talking about you being allergic.
If your gums and teeth is fucked up, your body is gonna make your teeth fall out your fucking face, bro. Period. It,
But yeah,
man,
it's like something called like it's something like called a placebo effect. You know what I'm saying? Where you can actually trick the mind into believing that something that you taking into yourself is gonna heal you. It's like the doctor giving you a sugar pill and saying this gonna help your pain. If you believe that pill is gonna cure your pain, it's gonna cure your pain. And that's
At
what
the
I
same
mean by the
time,
power. That's what I mean by the power of the mind. See,
How about the people
we
that still believe it and it don't work for them? But
at
never
the same time, if you don't think the medicine's gonna work, it won't.
But never mind that. What about like the people before the doctors, the medicine man? So you mean to tell me when they used to take the medicine, they just had to think that the medicine was gonna work for them? So why do they have to go to the medicine then? Why did they couldn't just think that the sickness is gonna go away and it went away? Why do they still have to go and get some herb and still go and
because
get certain things?
they believed in the medicine man.
They know. I
You
mean, no,
understand what I'm saying?
no, I'm talking about
Hold
the
on,
medicine man.
Ra- Raul.
Mhm.
Just like this, it's just like Christians, right? You
Mhm.
know, religious folks. They pray to their gods, and they believe so much into their gods to the point that when something miraculous happened, they attribute it to their gods when actually it was their own mind that did it.
I get that, but so you're saying that the medicine man trick the people by going and get some herbs because the people believe in the herbs?
In a nutshell, yeah. In
Nah,
a nutshell, yeah. In a
nah,
nutshell, yeah.
nah. Because my grandfather used to be a medicine man.
Okay.
He's not dead, but that's not true.
Now I'm
Hey,
not
Red
saying.
Squid,
Now I'm not.
337 megabytes to go.
Okay.
Now
Now
I'm
I'm
not
not.
gonna hold on, bro.
Now
No,
I'm
I'm
not
not gonna
saying
say.
that.
Listen, now
Now
I'm
I'm
not
not.
gonna say there is
Hold on,
some people that might
Raul.
not do that.
Raul.
Go ahead.
I'm not saying that there aren't holistic methods that are designed and tuned to the physiology of the human body that will help it. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about modern things. I'm talking about things that these doctors nowadays and these religious systems and these spiritual systems put inside our mind that this will help us when in all actuality what helps us and what serves us the most is our mind and ourselves. It's us. It's about us. Now, let me put it in the words of my brother Huey P. It. You are it. You make it happen.
That's true.
Don't
But
nothing else
listen
make it
though.
happen except you.
But listen though, you you in the body, right? You in the body operate differently. You ain't never need nothing but the body. You get that? But the body need everything else that it uses. It need the food, it need the water, it need all type of things. That's the body needs. But you yourself, you don't need nothing but the body to do what you need the body to do for you. You get that?
100%. I got you. I
All right.
understand.
All right, so now you gotta you can't like try to operate the body on the same level as you because you and the body is two different things. You tell the body what to do. You treat the body the way you want to treat the body. So you you can't try to make the body on the same level as you. You're gonna get hurt. I mean not you. The body gonna get hurt all the time.
So what controls the mind? The body, the mind or the brain?
The
What actually what
okay,
actually could what
the heart,
what
the mind, the
what
brain, all of them control the body.
the brain and the mind is two different things.
I know.
So
I know. I said
Yeah.
the mind, the brain, the heart, all of them control the body.
okay. So what makes what work? And what makes
Listen,
things actually happen? The brain or the mind?
all three of them work
Both.
together. Listen, all three of them work together to make the body to get whatever they want from the body. So now the body have different needs. The only need these three things have is the body, but the body have different needs.
Okay. I got you. I digress.
Right. So that's why it makes sense, the science to the body. Just like the science to your mind. You know how your mind works, you need to know how the body works too. So you could so now you have everything. You have both pieces to this, you have both sides to the coin.
Well, with the herbs that I use, I'm sure each herb has each aroma has a frequency, and that frequency is like a switch in your brain. And you're not doing it with your mind. The physical thing of your brain is electronic, and it's controlling your body subconsciously, right?
The
That's my
subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is separate from the brain. The subconscious mind is separate from the brain.
Yes, and the subconscious mind controls the brain too, right?
That's right.
Do y'all understand?
That's
Can I say
fact.
one thing, right? Do y'all understand when you're talking about the mind, the brain, the subconscious, you're not talking about anything, or the heart, you're not talking about anything physical. And if you're mentioning anything in the body and related to these things, or they are just
Where you getting to it with it, then, Raul?
hold on right quick. They are just houses to hold these things, right? When you're talking about the mind, when you're talking about the brain, when you're talking about the subconscious, when you're talking about the heart, all these things are not physical. And if you name anything in the body in relation to these things, they are just houses for these things. They are not these things.
Can I tell a little story about having an out-of-body experience?
Go ahead.
I was working out of town, and I was up north, and I was in this shitty little motel room, and I actually had a dream within a dream. But at one point, I felt something trying to pull me out the window. This is when I'm sleeping, and then it was like I was actually staring at myself. I was in my own face. I was looking at my own face. I was outside my body, and I felt cold, and I was trying to twist to get back into my body. So
did it feel like
that,
sleep paralysis?
No.
It didn't. Would you sleep or woke?
Sleep.
And when you tried to move, your body didn't move, but you can see yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sleep paralysis, right? Yeah, go ahead.
So I was outside of my body, looking at myself, like I was right. It was like I was a foot away from my own face, and it was my own face I was looking at, sleeping.
Like a third person, like type thing. A fifth dimension.
Yeah, I was my consciousness was out of my body, so I was out of my brain too, obviously.
Right, like my mom, she got in a car accident like in the 80s, right? She literally this is what she told me. She her spirit left her body, and she watched her car crash. Now the car flipped like 3 times. It's about to hit a gas pump, and then a angel or a bye-bye citizen drove and hit her car to stop her car from hitting the gas pumps. They put their own light. That's a hero to me. But anyway, they at the light, they see what's going on. She heading right to the pumps, right? He pressed the gas pedal, hit her car to stop it from hitting the pump. But she said once it was so scary that her spirit left her body and saw it all. So she saw the shit that she was in. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's deep.
And when my grandma was in the hospital, and she had a heart attack or something when she was in the hospital, and she was her consciousness was overhead watching them work on her body and saying, why leave me alone, I want to go, because she was in pain. And yeah, she wanted to die, but they were bringing her back to life, and she was there saying, why let me go.